Not many people gonna see this. My usual setup here. Doing what I usually do. What's going on? What's going on? Been a pretty good day. Hope everyone's enjoying their day, man. What is it? Well, it's a Wednesday night now. Wednesday night here. Excuse me. Wednesday night for everybody. How y'all doing today? Hope everybody is enjoying their days. Week 5 was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, man. A lot of great performances. Why are you streaming so late? I'm about to go to bed. Man, this is the only time I was able to stream. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here long. Y'all know me with my streams. I ain't going to be taking forever. At most, I'm going to be here for an hour. I just felt the need to talk about the MVP race, but more so what's been happening in the league because, through 5 games, we've had a lot of craziness happen in the NFL, man. It's been wild. It's been a wild ride. I don't remember the last time I've seen us have a season this crazy. Honestly, I think back, it'd probably be 2011. 2011 is the only one that can match this level of madness that we're seeing right now. All the not all, but pretty much every primetime game we've gotten has been crazy. It's been crazy, it's been crazy, man. Justin Herbert, young quarterback, second season as a starter. He has thrown himself into the MVP race. He's been killing it. Tom Brady still doing what he's doing, man. At the age of 44, he's still balling. He's in the MVP race. Kyler Murray, who, I would probably say is the front runner, but, some people will say otherwise. What he's doing with the Cardinals, the only team that's left that's undefeated, he's been having an amazing year. Josh Allen, he's put himself into the MVP conversation as well. You get the lower ones like Stafford and Mahomes who are kind of in the debate, which, it's going to be, they're still in the debate, but, they're there. You got Dak Prescott, who's having an amazing year. He has a chance to not only be, the MVP potentially, but also comeback player of the year. No question he's going to be comeback player of the year, but he could also be MVP. And, of course, you got Lamar Jackson, who put himself into the conversation, man. And what a statement Lamar had in the game against the Colts on Monday night. It's been crazy. Yeah, it looks like Lamar and Allen have hopped into the MVP conversation. Definitely. Herbert as well. After 4 seasons and lesson learned, Lamar says the game is really starting to slow down for me. For all Matrix fans, do you remember what happens when Neo learned the Matrix code? Scary. Yeah, it's scary how Lamar is just able to continue to grow and progress. And it's insane, too, because if you look at what he's done so far through 5 games, compare those 5 games to how he was in his MVP season, it's wild. More passing yards, obviously, but more total yards, better completion percentage, a higher yards per attempt, and yards per attempt, yards per completion, air yards in general, just higher in that, a higher completion percentage, just a higher passer rating, a better record. What this man has been able to do to improve that much is crazy. I do not stutter with the statement I'm about to say next up. When it comes to Lamar Jackson this year, he is top 5 in passing. He's 5th in passing and 8th in rushing. The man is averaging 303 passing yards a game. That is insane. How do you go from 186 to 303? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. It's insane what Lamar's been able to do. The progression he's made. I can't wait to talk about it during our bye week because, this guy has just taken it to another level. And you can see the improvement he's made in the passing game. And you could see he's just so calm in the pocket. And despite not having the offensive line being as best as it could be, though they're doing a great job protecting him. Not having the offensive line being the best, he's still able to play at this level, and he's showing the improvements, and he's still staying in the pocket and making accurate throws. That's crazy. Kyler, Brady, Dak, Lamar, Herbert, Allen should be in the conversation. I just don't know the order. Yeah, they are all in the conversation. They've been doing their thing, man. They have been doing their thing. It has been crazy. It has been wild. And I just got to give them their credit. Bucks or Eagles? I mean, obviously, I'm not picking the Eagles for anything. Why would I pick against the Bucks? It's definitely Bucks. Like my predictions are gonna come out tomorrow, but like, well, maybe tonight, either tonight or tomorrow morning. But like, they're gonna come out. But we know for sure it's gonna be the Bucks. I pick. Like, we're not even gonna play with that. Hollywood is in top 8 in receiving yards, and Mark Andrews is in top 10 in receiving yards. I'm proud of how Hollywood in the passing game has improved. It's been great. It's been great. The improvement in the passing game in general for the Ravens has been great. And a lot of that just has to deal with T. Martin and Keith Williams and what they've done to help improve this passing game, as well as Greg Roman, who has actually done a great job in play calling and being flexible and making adjustments, something that the Ravens haven't really been known to do. They're doing now, so that's a positive look towards the future. But yeah, man, these quarterbacks have been great this year. The passing output has been great this year. It feels like 2011 all over again. Is Stafford a top 5 MVP candidate? That's a difficult question. You know, if you asked me that 2 weeks ago, no question. But if I look at what Kyler's doing, Kyler's got to be at the top. You look at what Brady's doing, Brady's also got to be there. Then Josh Allen, he's got the Bills looking like the best team in the NFL. They're definitely the best team in the AFC, just as a whole. They're the best team in the AFC. But man, it's just like you got Allen, you got Kyler, you got Brady, then you got Lamar, and you got Herbert coming into this. Stafford's a tough one. I think you can make an argument for Stafford being top 5 in the MVP candidacy, but because of what's happened in recent weeks with the emergence of Lamar and Allen and Herbert, it's going to be difficult to put Stafford in that top 5. But I think he definitely deserves his recognition. It's going to be tough for Stafford to win that, though, but especially with the way Brady's playing and just this whole MVP race is just crazy this year. But I'm just glad we're able to go through this for the most part. Lamar Jackson's 2021 stat predictions: 4,100 yards, 39 touchdowns, 975 rushing yards. You know, with the way he's playing, man, if he continues this up, he is going to pass for over 4,000. Well, I mean, I already believe he's going to, but if he keeps up the projection he has right now, he may end up passing for nearly 5,000 yards. And I'm not joking. With the man averaging over 300 yards a game, he could potentially pass for 5,000 yards. And again, he will not be the only one who could do that. Brady is looking like he's going to throw for 5,000. Herbert looks like he's going to throw for 5,000. With the way Lamar's playing, he might throw for 5,000. It's crazy. Brown and Andrews beast at the receiving game. They're doing their thing this year, man. They're doing their thing. Hollywood Brown had one bad game, and everybody overreacted to it. It was terrible. We knew that he had to be better. He knew he had to be better. And since then, he's been doing that. You know, every day after practice, he's out there still catching soccer balls, and that's definitely helping him catch these passes because he's been showing up. No question, he's been showing up. Herbert versus Jackson matchup this weekend will be a great gauge for the MVP race. Oh yeah, I think it not only will that be a great gauge for the MVP race, it'll be a great gauge for the AFC in general because the Bills look like they're the best team. They look like number 1. But who's that number 2? You got the Chargers in there. You got the Ravens. They're in that conversation. With these two teams matching up, somebody's got to take that number 2 spot. And depending on how that matchup goes, that number 2 spot could very well look like the best team and a team that could seriously challenge the Bills. If the Chargers were to win this game against the Ravens, that means they would have slayed the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Browns, and then the Ravens. At that point, I could make an argument they're better than the Bills. And then when you look at the Ravens, despite all the injuries for what they've done to beat the Chiefs, then to beat the Chargers, and then come back against the Colts, everything that's happened, they beat the Chargers this week. You might want to say, I don't know, you may want to make an argument for them being the best team. But yeah, this upcoming weekend is going to give us a great gauge as to who takes that number 2 spot in the AFC behind the Bills, because the Bills are just playing amazing football right now. Like offensively and defensively, what they're able to do on both sides of the ball is crazy. It's just crazy. How did you guys win that game? Honestly, it's just an epic comeback. You get some plays here. Defense makes some plays. Calais Campbell, without that blocked field goal, we don't have a chance. But just a lot of crazy plays and Lamar just going beast mode in the fourth quarter. Like just taking over. but also some plays here, some missed kicks here. So, of course, like football, there's always some luck that has to deal with it. There's always a little luck that comes into every comeback because you need some things to go your way. And everything just went in the Ravens' way in terms of giving them an opportunity. So, yeah, it was a crazy game, man. Raiders a fraud team. Again, I mean, it doesn't. First of all, me. I said the Raiders weren't going to make the playoffs. I've never bought into the Raiders. So if they're seen as a fraud team, that means you guys bought into them, something I never did. So it is. If you bought into them and all of a sudden you look how they are now and you say they're a fraud team, I'm not going to disagree with you. I never bought into the Raiders. Even when they beat my team, I'm like, okay, they've always started off the season playing well, and then as the season goes on, they can't maintain that great play. So that's just how it is with the Raiders every season. I don't think that's going to change this year. But if they surprise me, I'll give them their credit. Can Lamar surpass 4K passing yards this year? Yeah, he can definitely surpass. With the way he's throwing the ball right now, he can definitely. Especially because our run game is actually not doing good. The run game hasn't been as consistent as you want it to be. In fact, it hasn't really been getting going at all. That's been a problem. It has been a problem. So let's give him more opportunities to show off this passing game. And boy, are we showing it off. Lamar kind of got to chill out with his picks and fumbles. Well, the picks aren't a problem. He's only thrown 3 interceptions. So that's not an issue with Lamar. Again, and 2 of those interceptions were in the Chiefs game. So really, the 2 interceptions in the Chiefs game, the 1 late interception in the Lions game, and that's it. Week 1, he didn't throw a pick. He just fumbled the ball. It's really the fumbles, not the picks. Lamar doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Now, I know a lot of people want to say, like, Lamar is inaccurate and all that. Lamar does not throw a lot of interceptions. And that's the great part of his game. He does not put the ball in danger a lot when it comes to throwing the football. When it comes to taking off and becoming a runner, that's a different case because this guy continues to fumble the ball. That's something Lamar knows better. He's got to be better at protecting the football, man. If you're going to take off, they're going to try to swipe that ball off. So he has to be able to hold on to the football. He's got to be better down the stretch with that, man. You can't fumble the football. That's turnovers that could be avoided. He was actually protecting the ball relatively well during his MVP season. But and last year, he didn't really fumble the ball like that. But in the postseason, he's been doing that. And overall, he just needs to cut that out. It's been something consistent with him. Do you think he could be because the Rams' next 3 games include the Giants, Lions, and Texans, a possible 7-1 record? It all depends on, well, first of all, okay, next game, if his next game is against the Giants, there's no way next week he could be considered that because, if we're taking a look at it, okay. I already know I have to look at because I got to make my prediction soon about week 6. But looking at next week, I don't know afterwards, but next week, for Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson, they're going up against each other. So whoever comes out of that, that's a different case. Then Kyler is going up against the Browns. So I think between Lamar, Justin Herbert, and Kyler, they might be at the 3 spots. Then I look at the Bucs and Brady. If he destroys the Eagles tomorrow night, they're still going to have him at the top. And then you look at Josh Allen, and when it comes to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who are they taking on? The Bills are taking on the Titans, and the Titans have kind of gotten themselves together a little. They're still inconsistent, but they got themselves a little. So it may be tough to see him within the next game, but in the next 3 games, depends on what he does and depends on what the other guys are doing. Is this Lamar's best season ever, and is it better than his 2019 season? It's only been 5 games. I'm not going to say that now. But it's only been 5 games. He's off to a great start, but it's only been 5 games. If Lamar throws for 4K and 1K, depending on his total touchdowns, and rush for 1K, he's going to win unanimously again. I don't know if he can win unanimous MVP with the way everyone else is playing, but if Lamar has over 4,000 yards and has maybe somewhere between 36 and 40 plus, like 36 and 40 touchdowns, maybe even more. Let's just say he has similar to his MVP season, he has let's say 42 total touchdowns, over 4,000 passing yards, and nearly 1K rushing. If Lamar has that, and the Ravens are one of the best teams in the league, they may be like a top 3 seed or maybe even the number 1 seed in the AFC, who knows? If that ends up being the case, yeah, he's going to win MVP, but I don't think he's going to win it unanimously because of what Brady's doing, what Allen's doing, what Kyler's doing. There's so many people competing this time. When he won it in 2019, He was the runaway. It was him and Russell Wilson. It got to a point where it was him and Wilson. And Wilson fell off while Lamar continued to rise up. And he continued to put up performance after performance on primetime, which caused him to be unanimous because no one else was playing at that level consistently other than Lamar. And the other person who was in the MVP conversation, he kind of fell off. This year, you've got so many people playing at such a high level that, honestly, whoever wins the MVP, it's not even going to be unanimously. And even if Lamar has monster numbers that surpass his MVP season, with the way everyone else is playing, those numbers may be similar to his. So even if he does win MVP, it won't be unanimously. What if the Ravens picked up Juju, Hilton, Corey Davis, or Galladay during the offseason? All these 4 receivers already regretted it if they don't want to. Yeah, it is what it is with that. Honestly, again, I didn't want Juju in the first place. I didn't want Juju or T.Y. Hilton, me personally. You know, if I had to choose between Juju, T.Y. Hilton, and Sammy Watkins, I would have taken Sammy Watkins. So when we got Sammy over the other two, I was fine. Corey Davis would have been a nice addition. He definitely would have been nice. And Kenny Galladay would have been cool as well, but it is what it is. If they would have picked him, I guess they would definitely have been utilized in his offense, but it is what it is, Again, when it comes to Juju, he's already out pretty much the season, so I don't know about – you can't gauge injuries with that. Hilton, again, the Colts, they're kind of downhill, but it's not over. Corey Davis is on the Titans, and the Titans might win the division, so I don't know if he'd be regretting it. What am I talking about? Corey Davis. No, I meant my bad. Don't roast me. He's on the Jets, and despite the Jets being terrible, he's balling out. So, if he didn't go to the Jets to win, he went to the Jets to get a contract and get paid, which he got. And Galladay's on the Giants, which I don't know what to make of that. So it's just been bad over there, and injuries are starting to carve them up. But it is what it is with that situation. We need this win Sunday because, especially with the playoffs in the future, it could come down to what spot we get. This would definitely be a great game for the Ravens to get. I wouldn't say it's like a must-win for the Ravens in terms of like playoff spots down the line, but we're in a situation where our second half schedule is going to be much tougher than our first half schedule. Honestly, based on what we've seen so far throughout the 5 games and how each team's played, this is going to be our toughest matchup of the first half of our schedule. We thought it would be the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are still, they're still a competitive team, and we know what Patrick Mahomes and that offense brings. But with the way that defense is playing, that's different. Now, again, the Chargers didn't exactly play great defense against the Browns last week, but I don't think they're going to be that bad. It's going to be crazy if they play that bad. I don't think that would be the case, but yeah. The Chargers might actually be our toughest matchup of the first half of our schedule. So if we can beat them, it'll give us a great gauge. Not to mention, after that, who do we have next? Because we have the Chargers. Then, is it Cincinnati already for the Ravens? Because I know we get the Cincinnati Bengals in the first half. Hold on. So after the Chargers, we take on, Cincinnati's next. So you got the Chargers, then you got Cincinnati, then we have our bye week before we take on the Vikings. So Cincinnati will be afterwards. And before you want to go into at 4-1 right now. I would love to see the Ravens go into our bye week at 6-1 because that'll put us in a great position. It'll put us in a great position. If you're a Ravens fan, you got to be worried about the Steelers games because Lamar tends to struggle against them. Yeah, the Steelers games are definitely something to be concerned with, especially because by the time we get to see them, they're going to be fully healthy. Their guys, they're dealing with health issues right now with their defense. That defense will be healthy and ready to go. The Steelers are the one team where Ravens fans can't really say anything about Lamar. At least with Browns fans, when Brown fans say anything, you look at Lamar's stats and how he's played against them. They can say whatever they want. Lamar cooks. Out of every other team, all the teams in the AFC North, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Lamar plays his best games against Cleveland. His best games are against Cleveland, then it's against Cincinnati. Pittsburgh has done a great job. Even in Lamar's MVP season, the one time he faced off with them in Week 5, they forced 3 turnovers. Then again, in our house last year, they forced 4 turnovers. So they have done a great job putting the pressure on Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm interested to see with the way Lamar's throwing the football and the way he's playing now, I'm interested to see how he'll play against that Steelers defense. But I wouldn't say I'm completely worried. However, there is a level of, a bit of worry when it comes to that one because you just know that the Steelers defense, they've done well against Lamar. So they are free to say whatever they want because they've done a great job slowing this man down. Anyone know anything on Boyle's return? Nothing yet, or well, at least nothing that I've heard. So, again, it's going to take a couple weeks for Boyle to be back, potentially, but he's not coming back this week. However, Bateman could potentially play in this game against the Chargers, so we'll see. Who do you think is performing the best out of all 2021 rookie quarterbacks? That's a toughie. Because if you're looking at it, I don't know, both Trey Lance and Justin Fields, they haven't played fantastic, but they've done a good enough job to win. Zach Wilson's had some good game. Well, he's had one good game, and then he's had a couple games where it's like, ugh. So it's been up and down with him. I don't know. I'm looking between Mac Jones and maybe Justin Fields, but it's very tough. It's been a little bit tough when it comes to the rookie quarterbacks. They're all dealing with their things, but as the season goes on, I think we'll get a better look. I guess Mac Jones would have to be it because at least Mac Jones, he's won multiple games at this point. So I guess Mac Jones would have to be the answer. And then after that, you make your pick between Trey Lance and Justin Fields in terms of how you believe they've played. Though I think Justin Fields might be number 2. So I guess if you were to rank it, maybe one would be Mac Jones, 2 would be Justin Fields, 3 would be Trey Lance potentially. Or maybe you can go with Trevor Lawrence. Who knows? Because Trevor Lawrence did have a great game against Cincinnati, and they didn't get the win. So it's like, it's very difficult once you get lower and lower. But I think right now you would have to say Mac Jones. Probably because he's played the most, and at least he's won some games. I wanted Galladay, but he wanted too much money. It is what it is. It is what it is. Honestly, I hope he doesn't win the MVP. If you look at the 21st century, the league MVP doesn't win the Super Bowl. I mean, what was it? Last time let me think about it. Yeah, the last time an MVP won the Super Bowl was Kurt Warner in 1999, right? I believe that was the last time. If you think about it, last time would be like 1999, Kurt Warner, and like, yeah. Wait, would it be 99? No. Was it 19? I might be. Kurt Warner was the last MVP, I believe, to win a Super Bowl, but not 100% sure it was. No, yeah, it was in 99. It was in 99. I was about to. Yeah, it was in 99. They won in 99. I was about to think about 1998. 98 was Broncos, and yeah, it was 99 because I was thinking about 98, but that was Broncos and Falcons. That was John Elway's final Super Bowl win where he just absolutely destroyed the Dirty Birds. But it was in 99. I remember. It was in 99. In fact, was it 99 against? No, yeah, it was 99. It was definitely 99. But yeah, 1999 was the last time, and it was with Kurt Warner. But other than that, yeah, nobody in the 21st century who's won MVP kind of went on to win Super Bowl that same year. So, I mean, there's some stats about it. But again, the MVP doesn't really get, I don't know, maybe, could it be a curse? Because, I mean, Matt Ryan got the MVP a day before the Super Bowl, because I was granted to him the day before the Super Bowl happened, and then we know what happened with 28-3. So it's interesting. I don't know if there's a direct correlation in the 21st century where it's like if you win MVP, you just can't go to the Super Bowl. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But, I mean, so far, nobody in the 21st century has really won MVP and then proceeded to go win the Super Bowl. We saw what happened with Peyton Manning in 2013, so, yeah. The Titans are seriously underperforming this year. We expected them to be one of the best. Yeah, it's been rough. They've been inconsistent, but they've also been hurt. So I think that's played a big role as to why they haven't played, their best football. But we'll see if they can get healthy, and, especially with Julio Jones and stuff, they can get healthy. We'll see what happens with that. But, it is what it is. Followed you at like 300 subs. Glad to see you growing. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support from you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Who's the best receiving back in the NFL? Kamara, CMC, Eckler, or Najee Harris? That's a tough one. I feel like when McCaffrey's, it's gonna be either Kamara or CMC. It's one of those two. Because no matter what, you put the ball in their hands, they're gonna go the distance. So maybe. I don't know if there's a slight edge for McCaffrey over Kamara. I think they may just be dead even. So, like, Kamara, when he's at his best and when CMC is at his best, it's about even. So you got to pick between one or the other. I can take either or. I could take either or. Do you think Herbert and Lamar are top 5? That's an interesting question. Would they be top 5 in what? MVP or top 5 quarterbacks in the league? Because those will bring two different questions. If you're talking about top 5 in the MVP race, you have something to say. But top 5 quarterbacks in the league, that's a bit tough to say, especially because of like top 5 quarterbacks right now. If we're just basing it based off of what we've seen the first 5 weeks and right now, it's a bit tough to say. Okay, Brady's definitely got to be up there. I know they're not winning, but if you look at the man's statistics, Patrick Mahomes is still having, like, he's leading the league in touchdown passes. So, like, you look at that and say yes. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And, again, he's not in the MVP conversation, but Rodgers is still, other than the one bad game he had, Rodgers was still doing his thing. And it's just like, And then you got Kyler. This is a tough question. If we want to look at it based on the MVP conversation and say who's playing the best football right now, I definitely could say, you know what, you could put Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, and Justin Herbert in their top 5 and just work with that. And you can say that's the top 5. But if we're just talking about top 5 in general and quarterbacks in the league, that's where it gets a little bit iffy because, again, you still got your Bradys, your Rodgers, your Mahomes, and then those final 2 spots are always fluid. Sometimes you have Russell Wilson in the mix, other times he falls off. Then, you know, there's a chance, an opportunity for Lamar to potentially throw himself in there, and then you can do that. And then you can have a Justin Herbert who's definitely emerging. You could potentially throw him in there. Though, I mean, it may be too early to put him. See, with top 5 quarterbacks, it's always weird to gauge that because it's like we look at who's playing well in the beginning. We just want to throw them in immediately. We can't always be doing that because it's like we're kind of, you know, being prisoners of the moment. Top 5 is something you just have to be like, consistently being at the top year in and year out and consistently do it. So that's where it's just like, I don't know, you know, this man Herbert just took himself into the superstar or at least star quarterback realm. We're starting to see him be that star quarterback. He's starting to look like one of the elite quarterbacks. We knew he had the elite talent. Now the talent is transferring onto the field and we're seeing his performance. But after 5 games, are we ready to say he's a top 5 quarterback? That's a difficult question. You know, like in order to be like a top 5 quarterback, you got to be playing at that high level and constantly taking your team to the playoffs and doing all this other stuff. You know, Herbert is definitely a talented young guy. Of course, I haven't had this much praise for a young quarterback since Andrew Luck. I have been on the Justin Herbert train for quite some time, so I know he's definitely one of the most talented quarterbacks, and he deserves to be at the top. But after 5 games, it's already tough to put him in the top 5 right now and just say top 5. I mean, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback, but to say he is a top 5 quarterback after 5 games when we know that spot for top 5, you have to at least have a year under your belt of looking like an MVP, and then the next year you got to play like that. That's where it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. If we're talking about right now, sure, but like overall in general, it's hard to just be like, yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback. But it is what it is. Who do you think will win Rookie of the Year the most? See, well, I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I'm going to go with Jamar Chase, man. The dude is making history right now. I'm going to go with Jamar Chase for Rookie of the Year. I think Jamar Chase is going to take that. You know, I know people. I saw like an early report for like early rookie, like campaign for early MVP, early Defensive Player of the Year. And for the Rookie of the Year spot, they had this man, Mac Jones, there, and I'm like, the only reason they put him there is because he's a quarterback. But no, I would say Jamar Chase should be the Rookie of the Year because he's playing like that right now. He's putting up Moss type numbers. It's crazy. The second half of the season is really going to test out the Ravens, especially in November to early December. Yeah, we're going to get tested out. I mean, you got Cleveland twice in the span of 3 weeks. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. So, yeah, you're going to be tested out. And then Pittsburgh again later in the season. Not to mention the second half. So, let's just think about it. Second half, you got to deal with Cleveland and Pittsburgh twice. You got to deal with the Packers. You got to deal with the Rams. Yeah, you might want to get off to that 6-1 start, Ravens. 5-2 is acceptable, but 6-1 would be very needed right now because that second half is going to be rough. The good news is, hopefully by that second half, we will have the guys that can come back and be healthy again. They'll be back, and then we'll be flowing and see what we can do. But that second half is going to be rough. I heard Ben Cleveland's on short-term IR. Yes, he is, which means he's going to be out for 3 weeks. Somebody get out the bat signal. Bateman's coming. Yeah, hopefully he can play. Hopefully he can play. I believe he will. But we'll see. Who's better right now, Ramsay or Ramsay or Diggs? Diggs got like 6 picks in 5 games. So Diggs is just playing better. I mean, he's been fantastic for the Cowboys. Like 6 picks in 5 games. Don't throw it this man's direction at all. Like at all. I'm taking Aaron Donald. I already saw that. I'm taking Aaron Donald. I'm not even gonna try Aaron Donald. That's not a debate. It's Aaron Donald. I think right now Kyler should be number 1 in MVP conversation. Yeah, I have Kyler at the top. Just because 1, his team's still undefeated, and 2, he's got the numbers to match everybody else. Now, when it comes to MVP, here's the thing. In terms of MVP performances, in terms of the stats and the numbers and all this other stuff and the flashy performances, Kyler's got to be number 1. But if we're talking about the actual position of being the most valuable to their team, the number 1 should obviously be Lamar Jackson because he has an edge that the others don't have. 1, he doesn't have the weapons that everyone else has in his MVP conversation. Of course, with Kyler having freaking DeAndre Hopkins, Brady having every single possible weapon you can get. Do we have to name them? And then Herbert. Well, Allen has Stephon Diggs, and then you have Herbert, who has both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And you just look at all these people have these weapons, and then you look at Lamar Jackson, and it's like he doesn't have those top tier weapons. Now, what we're hopeful of is what we saw yesterday, and what we're seeing now is the emergence of what could be his actual weapons. Like, of course, Mark Andrews was one of the better tight ends, but people were triple teaming him, and none of the other receivers are stepping up. Marquise Brown has, Hollywood, whatever you want to call him. I call him Hollywood because that's what the man wants to be called. Hollywood has taken this game to another level. And if he can put a Pro Bowl type season, then no question, you got your guy right there. If they can consistently play at this place, now you can be like, all right, here's this guy. I think a lot of, when it comes to Hollywood and like Mark Andrews, the biggest difference between the others that we always bring up is 1, these guys are young, and 2, they weren't proven veterans. Stephon Diggs was a proven man before he ended up becoming the weapon for Josh Allen. Every single receiver on the Bucs were proven before they got to Brady, though it's Tom Brady, so we let that slide. DeAndre Hopkins was a made man before he went to Arizona. He was arguably the best receiver in the game before he got traded to Arizona. And then Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they were made people before, Herbert got there. So when you look at all the people that are in the MVP conversation, for 1, they all got better weapons, more proven weapons than Lamar does. And 2, the Ravens are injury-riddled as hell, man. 17 people on IR and like 20 people injured in total? You're trying to get these guys back? So he doesn't have the weapons everyone else has. And then he's dealing with these injuries at the same time, yet his team's 4-1, and his numbers are similar to the other guys in the MVP conversation. If we're talking about most valuable player, it's got to be Lamar Jackson. However, we know when it comes to the MVP race, it's the value you bring to your team, but it's also the numbers. And if you look at that, well, then you can give it to Kyler. And that's why I have Kyler at the top. Again, his team's undefeated, and he's been balling out of his mind. So it's just like, you got to give him his credit. That's why I have Kyler number 1. But we're just talking about the pure base, just the pure discussion of who's the most valuable to their team. It's Lamar Jackson. That's not a debate. It's Lamar Jackson. Yeah, like I said, nobody does more with less than Lamar. Lamar already has 3 comeback wins in 5 weeks. He's the best quarterback in the league. Without Lamar, Ravens are 1-4 or 0-5. Honestly, you could definitely make that case at this point that Lamar could be considered potentially the best quarterback in the league. We can have that type of discussion right now because he's literally doing what people said he couldn't do. How many comebacks? All these games we've been have just been comeback after comeback after comeback. He can't come back against this. He can't come back against this. He's done it time and time again. And he's in the MVP conversation because of it. And he's doing it with a depleted team with injuries without the weapons everyone else has. So, yeah, you can make the argument Lamar is the best quarterback in the league. But, again, that would be a debate. And, honestly, I'm not really going to get into that debate as to whether or not Lamar is the best quarterback in the league. Honestly, again, he's no doubt top 10. I can make an argument for him being top 5. Putting him number 1, people will definitely have things to say about that. But right now, man, he's been crazy. He's been crazy. Also, when Ravens play Bengals, Lamar goes berserk. I'm starting to realize why Tigers are going extinct. Lamar breaks the record on these dudes every time. Lamar plays well against the Bengals. He also plays well he plays well against the Bengals. He plays well against the Browns. One thing I wanted him to do was play well against the Steelers. Hopefully he can do that this season. But we'll see. Losing Sammy Watkins might be a blessing in disguise. Bateman's coming. I mean, I wouldn't say losing Sammy Watkins is a blessing in disguise because having Sammy Watkins in the first place has been a blessing in disguise. You don't want to lose Sammy Watkins because him and Lamar have a connection. They have like actual chemistry. Lamar throws this guy the ball and he's just there to catch it. So you don't want to lose a guy like this. But hopefully it's nothing serious. It's a hamstring injury, but we don't know how severe it is. So he might miss a game. Probably is going to miss a game. As of right now, my opinion, MVP, Murray, Rookie of the Year, Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chase, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year, Diggs, and Coach of the Year, Sean McVay. I think it's interesting. Okay, Kyler, yeah, I'll agree with that. Rookie, Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chase. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Parsons. Yeah, I would agree with that, though I believe Odafe always should get some consideration for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Parsons has also been killing it. Defensive Player of the Year, Diggs is doing his thing, and Coach of the Year, Sean McVay, Coach of the Year. That's going to be tough, man. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to have something to say about that, man, because him and the Cardinals are rolling. And they beat McVay's team, so Kingsbury might get the nod for Coach of the Year. Lamar is the most valuable piece to any NFL offense there has ever been. Easy, chill out, my mans. I love the energy, but chill out, my mans. Marcus Peters is still better at getting interceptions than Diggs. Well, I mean, Marcus Peters is a ball hawk, and he's been doing it since, 2015? We know what this man brings to the table, but he's not playing right now. Diggs is a ball hawk, but Ramsay is better in press coverage. No doubt. Oh, yeah, Ramsay's one of the best in coverage, no question. Comeback play of the year is Dak. Yeah, comeback play of the year is Dak. No one's going to deny that. The Chiefs are so easy to beat. 1, double Tyreek. 2, pressure Mahomes with a 4-man rush without blitzing. 3, get at least 1 turnover. 4, score at least 30 points offensively. Well, that's not exactly easy to do. I mean, the formula could be there, but it's not easy to execute. Doubling Tyreek Hill, that could work out, but if Travis Kelce has a night on you, you just have to live with it. And you could pressure Mahomes with a 4-man rush, but it doesn't mean you can get to Mahomes with a 4-man rush. That's the difference. Putting some pressure, Mahomes can handle pressure. If you can't get to Mahomes with a 4-man rush, it doesn't matter. That's what we've spoken on. And then 3, get at least 1 turnover. Well, again, you have to force Mahomes to turn the ball over or somebody to turn the ball over, which is not always easy. And then scoring 30 points offensively, that's not a difficult thing to do, but if your offense is not getting going or you're missing guys, it may not happen. Lamar is on pace for 4,500 passing yards and 1,100 rushing yards. I don't think he's going to get that exact number, but he can get close to it. If Lamar has an MVP performance on Sunday, should I put the Ravens' record to 13-4? No, because the worst is yet to come. I still have us at 12-5, but the worst is yet to come. I originally had our record at 6-1 going into the bye week. So knowing our record I had us, when I made my predictions, I said we're going into the bye week 6-1. And then afterwards, we're going to split with the Steelers and split with the Browns. That's 2-3. And then I look at the game against the Rams and the Packers, and I say we could potentially lose those games. And that can make it 12-5. So that's why I'm like, not sure. The second half of the season is where we got to focus. So to say 13-4, we'll have to see. It's a little bit tough, but we'll have to see because the second half is where the damage is really going to come in. Yeah, he did it with 440. Yeah, he killed it on Monday Night Football. He killed it. That second half was one of the greatest second halves I've ever seen. I think the biggest factor in the MVP race is consistency. You have to play at an elite level the whole year. If Lamar keeps it up, he wins MVP. I don't think he will, though. Now, I believe Lamar can keep this level up, but here's the thing. There's a certain extent as to how we're going to do this. I think Lamar can keep up this pace in terms of playing in these high-level games, but here's the difference. We got to start dominating these games. Lamar talked about it, too, in his press conference. I'd rather play with the lead. I don't know if we could continue to have to play in games where we're going to have to come from behind. How many come from? Are we about to just have Lamar have 10 come from behind wins in one season? I don't think I want to put us in a situation like that. It's epic, but at the same time, wouldn't you want to have more games where you can dominate? When Lamar was winning MVP, he was dominating that season. But this year, we're just coming from behind. And it's just why we got to be down by, 19 points? And then all of a sudden, it's okay, go time, let's play. No. Nobody wants to deal with that every week. Why is it we couldn't just take down the Lions in general? Obviously, the missed passes, but to have that game come down to a 4th and 19 to get into range for Tucker to kick a 66-yard field goal, we don't need those heartaches. We got to get some domination. You can't sustain come from behind wins every single week. At some point, this offense has to get going early on and stay hot. I'm hopeful that this explosion here from the Monday Night Football game will lead to something. Also, Bateman's potential return could also lead to something happening there. His numbers aren't that of an MVP, though. He is good, but they mostly look at numbers and where the team is. If we're talking about Lamar, his numbers are within that area of an MVP because it's close to the others, but, it wouldn't be enough to overtake everybody else as the MVP because you just have to look at the moments, but the numbers itself wouldn't be enough to overtake the other guys. Like Brady, Brady's numbers are just better, so you would have to be like, hey, Brady would take, or maybe even Kyler as well. EDC better hurry up and pay Lamar. The longer he waits, the more money Lamar wants. I have no idea about Lamar and how much money he wants or how that's going to go. I have no clue. They'll figure that out when they figure that out. You think Lamar could have won a Super Bowl 2 or 3 years ago with this kind of offense? An offense that's just passing the football? Again, it was supposed to be a more balanced Here's the thing. We don't exactly know what this offense was going to truly be because we lost J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. But what we've seen right now is they're still trying the same old thing with the run game. They're just attacking downfield more. So, and Lamar himself has shown improvement in throwing the football. So it's not like this type of offense that we're running right now is that much different from what we've seen. It's just we've improved in trying to attack. Of course, some of the passing concepts have improved thanks to Keith Williams and T. Martin. So if you're telling me if we get this same passing game, meaning we had Keith Williams and T. Martin on the team during Lamar's MVP season, and then you just have the same route running and the improvement from these guys, would we have won a Super Bowl? That's a good question, but I'm not even sure if I could say yes to that completely. I still think we could have won a Super Bowl that year, but we were just callous. Though those losses have helped Lamar mature so much that now you see when we're down, Lamar is not doing the same thing before. One thing we spoke about with Lamar was that when the team was down, his head was down. He was visibly upset. He still gets angry on the sideline when he makes a bad play, but it's the right type of angry. It's just like, damn, I shouldn't have made that play. Then he gets back engaged into the game. It's not like he's just sitting there with his head down and he's just getting angry. No. Nowadays, he just seems calm. He's like, okay, we're down. Let's go play ball. We still got plenty of time. And it feels like those losses have helped him mature to that place. When he became MVP, during that 2019 season, he didn't have that mindset of, man, if we go down like that, we're not ready. This what we're having this season is happening specifically because of the improvements Lamar has made in the passing game. Lamar as a passer 2 years ago is not the same Lamar we're seeing right now in the passing game. That MVP season was crazy. It was historic, but Lamar as a passer has improved since then. So if we're talking about moving it back to 2 or 3 years ago, could we have won a Super Bowl? Potentially, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it was confirmed Sammy's going to miss a game on Sunday. He'll probably play week 7. Hopefully. We'll see. Sammy Watkins is so underrated for us. This is the veteran receiver we needed. I know it's probably a 1-year rental, but I want him to be a Raven for a few years. Hey, if he continues to play well, it could very well happen, but they'll have to work out that situation. It would be interesting that most award winners are from the NFC conference while there's only one AFC award winner. The NFC, I guess this year the NFC has been better than the AFC. Or at least more competitive. Patrick Queen is looking like a bust. I wouldn't say he's looking like a bust. Again, if you look at the film, the only thing that's missing, that's wrong with Patrick Queen is tackling. That's it. He just has to tackle. And again, that's been an issue for the entire defense. Other than that, he's reading the offenses right. He's getting to the right spots and he's making the right plays. He's just not making the tackles. If he can tackle, he's fine. And again, we always want to say bust for these dudes. Bruh, it's his second year. We got to stop doing this, man. These are young players. This is not the NBA where you can have a point guard that's just doing this thing in college. He comes right into the NBA to some an average team or a bad team, and all of a sudden he drops 30-plus points or just 25 in his first campaign. Bro, this is not the NBA. It takes time for these guys to develop. And even in the NBA, it takes time for those guys to develop. But you got people coming out of college and just dropping 25 points a game. It's not a surprise. But it takes time. So we can't be always saying, oh, this guy's a bust. This is his second year, man. It's his second year. And his first full actual off season because of what happened last year. Patrick Queen can't wrap a Christmas present. He's not playing well right now, so he can't wrap anything right now. The tackling's got to get better for the Ravens. Can J.K. Dobbins win comeback player of the year next year? I mean, he could. Definitely will be in the conversation depending on how he plays. Patrick Queen is good. Y'all won't talk about Marlon whiffing on tackles and jumping offside. Show me where Queen's messed up last game. Again, it's really just the missing of tackling. Again, it's not like he's not doing everything right. It's just he's not tackling right. But then again, who is tackling right on this defense? That's just it. Who else is tackling right on this? We can't always just target Patrick Queen when we know everybody else on this defense is not doing a great job tackling. Marlon Humphrey has not been great this year. He hasn't been the Marlon Humphrey we know and love. He's been inconsistent at times in coverage. He's been getting beat. And he's not making tackles either. The whole defense as a unit has not looked great. So we can't always just pick on Patrick Queen's tackling when no one else on this team is doing a great job tackling. So, yeah. The next game for the Ravens is going to be crazy for me. Not only are they facing a tough opponent in the Chargers, but it's also my mother's favorite team. Oh, it should be a great game for you guys. Hopefully your family will be able to. You'll sit back, you'll enjoy, and you don't, go at each other too much. We'll see what happens with that. Bills defense made it look easy to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs still the Chiefs. They're still a 12-win team. Yeah. They're still a 12-win team. They're gonna make the playoffs. There's no way the Chiefs are gonna miss the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs, no question. Quinn has been bad all year with tackling. As a middle linebacker, that's inexcusable. Oh yeah, definitely. He's got to be better with that. Ravens winning 13 to 14 games. Mark my words. It can happen. It depends on how we go moving forward, but we'll see. No, guys. Patrick Queen is not a bust. We have to stop doing this. It's his second year. We got to stop doing this. Nobody on the Ravens is tackling well. Other than that, he's been getting... If you've noticed this, everyone wants to pick on Patrick Queen for his tackling, but no one wants to speak on the amount of tackles he's missed. With all the tackles he's missed, we're forgetting the other side of that. We're forgetting that he's always getting to the right spots, which means he's done a better job and has a better awareness of what the offense is trying to do, and he's been better at reacting in terms of where he has to go when the offense makes the plays. That's why we're constantly talking about him. He's always in the right spot to make the tackle. He's just not tackling. Tackling is something you can fix. But the awareness to get to the right spots and make those plays, that's not something you can teach easily. And Patrick Queen's doing that. He's shown the improvement in that. He just needs to learn to tackle. That's it. He's not a bust. Just teach him how to tackle. Simple as that. Yeah, I still got us at 12-5, so I'm not worried about that. In 2019, Lamar wasn't playing at MVP level until week 7. True. It said CJ Board taking Queen's spot. They both was on the field. Harrison was. He's not taking Patrick Queen's spot. I totally agree. Lamar is putting up crazy numbers because your defense is throwing. And also, Lamar does make some silly turnovers at times. I love the Ravens, though, and wish y'all the best. It's fine. Again, we're throwing the ball more compared to back then because we have to. Because running game, we're going to have to talk about that at some point. But the running game isn't exactly doing much this year. And we know why, but it hasn't been the best. So Lamar's had to throw the ball more. And he's shown that he's more than capable enough to do that. If it wasn't for Hollywood's drops, he would have 7 touchdowns and over 500 receiving yards. Well, true, we probably have 7 more touchdowns with that. But it is what it is. Not finna cry about that. It happens. Reminder that Lamar's doing this without Ronnie Stanley, an all-pro tackle, and Bateman not playing. Also with JK and Gus out. There's levels to this. 2019, Lamar was playing like an MVP all season. It was him and Russ neck and neck, and it was clear Lamar by the Rams game. Well, I wouldn't say Lamar was playing. Okay, he started off the season with Miami playing like that MVP with that 5-touchdown game, but then he kind of eased off within the next couple weeks. But by the time we got to the Seahawks game, he started to show up a little bit more because he outplayed Russ there. But by the Patriots game, people started saying, hey, he could potentially win MVP. And by the Rams game, it's like, yeah, it's Lamar. Queen is young and in his second full season. He's fine. Hollywood went through the same thing, as did Averett. Yeah, they're young players. Give these guys time. Stop treating it like it's the NBA. It takes time. These are not NBA players that just come in and all of a sudden they're able to do their thing. NFL players, sometimes with these young guys, it takes time. The man's in his second season. It's simple as that. He's in the second season. Nobody on the Ravens defense is tackling well. Give him time. The Ravens can't play like they did in the first half and third quarter. Yeah, they can't play like that. The way they played against the Colts, they can't play like that against the Chargers. They'll get smoked. Once the game slows down for Queen, he'll be great. I agree. My Tampa, we the new Monstars. Pretty much, you got everybody. You got everybody on the team. So, like, I don't know who in the NFC is going to stop y'all. Rams fans will be like, we can't, but I already warned Rams fans. Trust me, that first matchup, if you meet up with them again in the postseason, it's not going to be the same. So be on your toes. Tom Brady does not forget losses. What do we need more, tackle or guard? I'd say tackle, especially for the offensive line tackle. I'd love to see Lamar have a deep playoff run as a Steelers fan. I hope he does this year. I'm hopeful of that. At least let's get to the AFC Championship game. I have us making it to the championship game at least, but we'll see what happens afterwards. But, we'll just see. Queen is also still raw. Yeah, it's going to take some time, man. It's going to take some time. Lamar was good his rookie year. He became a superstar in the second. Yeah, he emerged as a star in the second. That's when he won his MVP year. And he was pretty good in his rookie year. A rookie Lamar was actually very interesting. We got to talk about that one day. Because, a rookie Lamar wasn't the best. But I feel like, and this is where people get on him on his playoff loss in his rookie year. People forget that man was 21 years old and the youngest quarterback in NFL history to start in the postseason. Like a rookie Lamar, because of what he was doing and how he helped change his team and lead it to the playoffs, it felt like everyone just forgot that he was a rookie and he didn't have his rookie moment yet. Like Lamar was due to have his rookie moment. You can't have a rookie quarterback coming in and all of a sudden he just somehow takes them to the Super Bowl. That wasn't going to happen, man. Lamar had his rookie moment in the playoffs. Being 21 and in the postseason in the NFL for the first time, it's just crazy. So he learned from that, and then we saw what happened his second year, won MVP. And then we're continuing to see Lamar grow. Every year he grows and learns something, so that's great. One thing Queen is bad at is tackling. Other than that, he's reading, he's got to finish, and he's got to work on his stance. Pretty much. Facts, bro. About Marlon, I don't like the Queen slander at all. They shouldn't be slandering Queen. He's a young quarterback. He's a young linebacker, bro. He's young. You just expect him to be able to come in, take that middle linebacker spot, and all of a sudden be able to just dominate. He's young. He's in his second year. Give him time. It is what it is with some fans. Everett was doing so good for the first 4 games. The game on Monday night for him, yeah, we don't talk about how he got mossed. Yeah, that was just a bad performance from him, but it was bound to happen, man. You can have some bad games. Humphrey has bad games. Marcus Peters has bad games. It happens. Somehow we are not CBS's feature game this week. Feel bad for y'all not in the Baltimore market. I mean, I'll be fine since I'm live streaming the game. I never really listen to what the commentary is, so I'm always live streaming and giving my own commentary. So whatever they're saying up there, I don't pay attention to it that much in terms of the commentary. But in terms of the ref, I got to hear what the plays are. Ain't gonna lie though, I do want CJ Mosley back. I mean, again, I'm fine without CJ Mosley. At the same time, I do miss CJ Mosley a little, but it is what it is. Again, Patrick Queen is young. You already knew at some point we were going to move off of Mosley, but it is what it is. You just deal with it. It's going to take the man time. We got to realize that. It's going to take the man time. We can't be on this man's case forever. I just realized the only good tackler on the defense is Owe, and he's a rookie. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's just going to take time with that. It's going to take time. Why is Owe like one of the only good players on the Ravens defense right now? Because Owe is a beast. That's why he needs to be in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year alongside Parsons. Tell Ray Lewis to link up with Patrick Queen, please. I don't know. The Ravens got to tell that. Maybe they can call up Ray Lewis next. Ray Lewis is always in Baltimore when you need him, so somebody got to talk to him. Maybe have Ray Lewis have a conversation with Patrick Queen, maybe work out with him. Who knows? It could help out. My friends called me crazy when I said Ravens at minimum winning 10 games. They said because we injury riddled. I said, well, we winning because we got LJ. Yeah, coming into the season, with all these injuries, I still said by the end of all these injuries happening, I still had us going 12-5, though. I was like, with all the injuries, we might fall to 11-6 and potentially 10-7. But so far, despite all the injuries we've suffered, Lamar has kept us up. Justin Tucker has kept us up. The team has managed to win and overcome all these adversities early on in the season. So that should prepare them for the second half of the season as well as the postseason, if they can get there. But that second half of the season is going to be crazy, man. So we'll see what happens with that. Owe and Averett doing good. Yeah, they're both doing good. CJ's stats are bad right now. I don't miss him at all. Like I said, it is what I'm fine with Patrick Queen. We already knew we were moving off of Mosley. If the Chiefs somehow miss the playoffs, the Ravens better take advantage. I mean, if the Chiefs miss the playoffs, it's not just the Ravens. Everybody's taking advantage. You don't think Buffalo is going to take advantage of the Chiefs missing the playoffs? You don't think the Chargers, if they make it into the postseason, which it looks like they will, you don't think they could take advantage of that? Bruh, everybody in the AFC will be looking to take advantage of a Chiefs missing the playoffs. So, yeah, it wouldn't just be the Ravens. Everybody will be looking to take advantage. But, it is what it is. Avery and Humphrey were being cooked at a 5-star restaurant on Monday. Hey, nobody could cover well. Wish my Tampa had Calais. Nah, you guys have enough players, man. Y'all can't have all the players. Trying to make this not like y'all really out here trying to make y'all team look like y'all are a Pro Bowl team right now. Do you understand that? You are a Pro Bowl team. I can see why Fournette was looking around like saying, dog, bro, look at all the stars and potential Hall of Famers we got on this team. That's too much talent on one team. Y'all don't need everybody. You are good. I don't care about some of the, your secondary could be, but I don't care. Y'all have all the players. You have all the players. Y'all don't need more, okay? Like, what you want, all the good players? Like what Charles Barkley said to LeBron a while back. Well, not a while back, but like several years ago. What, you want all the good players? Bruh, y'all don't want to compete? Like, y'all got all the players, man. Y'all good. Tampa Bay is good. Nobody in the NFC is going to want to mess with Tampa Bay come postseason. Y'all don't need Calais. We need Calais. I don't need any more players. Chill out. I can't wait until we get Rashad Bateman in the lineup. He will open up more for Brown and Mark. Yeah, not to mention he'll be getting himself some targets too. This offense can really be something special once we get Bateman going, and then you get Sammy. Like, we're gonna be something crazy, man. If we can keep this up, though. But it is what it is. Double A was getting toasted. He was due a bad game when he's been so far been playing so well. Yeah, he was due that. He was definitely due that. If you could bring one player back from IR with the Dragon Balls, who would you choose? Marcus Peters. I'm dead serious with that. Marcus, like, I'm looking at this second. Humphrey hasn't exactly been what I've needed him to be. And, Averett's been great, but, like, I'm just like, I knew if we had Marcus Peters, man, the turnovers would be happening. Marcus Peters would be great. Like, my number one would be, like, because this defense has been playing so bad over the last couple weeks, I need a defensive player back. Give me back Marcus Peters. Number two, honestly, I can pick between J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards. I might take the Gus bus because, man, either way, I need Lamar to get one of his guys back, man. Like, either Marcus Peters, one for me. Two would have to go between either J.K. or Gus to give me one of those guys back. But, like, I would go defense first just because we could really use the help. Andre, what's going on, man? Hope you're enjoying your day. We're just here for this stream. Probably going to end it soon here. Wasn't going to be a long stream, but I appreciate you stopping by, though. Still just answering some questions here. But, yeah, I would definitely bring back Marcus Peters first. It's a good thing I got Sunday's ticket last season. Last season, they aired all the Ravens games, but now they aren't. My local stations prefer the Panthers in Washington. Wish this game had gotten flexed, but no problem. Yeah, it would have been nice to see it on Sunday Night Football, but, man, we have enough primetime games, man. All these primetime. We played 3 primetime games in the first 5 weeks. Chill out. Monday Night Football to start off the season, Sunday Night Football week 2, and then Monday Night Football here. Easy. Okay? Chill out. We got things to do, man. We got other things to do. We can't be out here with all these playoff. Well, not playoff, but all these primetime games. Chill out. Did you see the tweet that Sean Elliott made about Jack Doyle, Hollywood? Yeah. Talked about him on the stream as well. Yeah, the whole about I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Which, I mean, I'm fine with I don't really have an issue with it. I'm fine with what he said. I'm cool with that. Who's the second best player on the Ravens? Obviously Lamar is number 1, but who's number 2? Justin Tucker. Is that a debate? Is that actually a debate? Like, it's Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's the second best player on the Ravens. I don't think anyone would sit back and deny that. It's Justin Tucker. Like we're not even gonna play around with this, okay? Justin Tucker is literally our backup offense. When the offense can't get anything going, we know we can get 3 points with Tucker. It's Justin Tucker. Like, I'm not even finna play with nobody else. That man is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Matter of fact, after what happened in Week 5, they might as well induct Justin Tucker into the Hall of Fame right now. Like, put him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tonight, because that's how bad these kickers were. If your name's not Justin Tucker, don't kick the football. We don't want you on the field. Simple as that. I need Marlo to play like an All-Pro like he did in 2019. Yeah, we need that. We actually need that. Imagine Richard Sherman returns to his old self back in 2013. The rest of the NFC is dead. I don't see that happening. He's not going to get back to his 2013 self. You know how long ago that was? Richard Sherman's not the same player he was in 2013. That'd be insane for him to do that. They might test him if he did that. Like, hold on, bro. You're not supposed to be playing like this. I really do hope the Chiefs make the playoffs because I want to beat KC in the playoffs in Buffalo in front of all of our diehard fans. Then our revenge will be complete. Well, hopefully that you guys get the opportunity. Me as a Ravens fan, I don't want you guys to get the opportunity because I would want that to be for my team. But, to each its own. But if that happens, good for you guys. I did say if the Ravens don't make the Super Bowl, I would rather see either the Bills or the Chargers make the Super Bowl. That's just me personally. EDC needs to make a defensive trade like a Marcus Peters or Calais trade. Like, I'm dead serious. EDC, please get a defensive player. I don't know. This may be one of the few times people may be praying we get a defensive player because of all the injuries. I missed the 1 p.m. games. Same here. When Bateman comes back, I hope we put Marquise Brown in the slot. He will do damage with his speed. Plus, hopefully, we will get better at tackling this week. We'll see. Because the tackling is going to be an issue the entire season. So we're hopeful, and we'll just see what happens. Would also be nice to see a Ravens Bill playoff rematch. I would like to see that. That'd be cool. No one wants to watch Geno Smith and the washed Big Ben play against each other. Oh, yeah, true. Q&A Sunday. Oh, yeah. Watch out for the Q&A. Like, I don't exactly know how I'm going to do this whole Q&A thing. Like, I'm legit going to be chilling out. It's going to be so different. The game's going to be on. I'm sure we'll mention it, but, like, we'll be chilling out. I will be talking about other things that aren't related to football. Like, you guys can just ask whatever questions you want about my life and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be an actual Q&A instead of just sitting back and commentating on the game because nobody wants to watch Geno Smith take on Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. I'll talk about the game. If I see a touchdown, I'll be like, hey, touchdown, cool. But we're not really going to focus on the Sunday Night Football game. It's going to really be a Q&A. So if anyone wants to ask me any questions about anything, look forward to Sunday night. Watkins' hamstring injury will probably keep him out of the week. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, as long as he can come back, it's fine. Why can't Ronnie stay healthy? Ronnie can stay healthy. It's just he's coming off of a bad injury, man. It's just about him. He's coming off that injury, and then we kind of rushed him. Well, he kind of rushed himself back, and then we rushed him on the field, and we saw what happened week 1. So now they want to take their absolute time to get Stanley ready. They don't want to waste. They don't want to put him back out there when he's not 100%. All of a sudden, bam, we lose him for even more time. They want to wait until he's absolutely 100% healthy and ready to go. They're not going to take any risk because they don't want to lose him for the season. So it's going to take some time with them. Sherman got hit with Achilles. Can't remember which season-ending injury, but he'll never be the same guy he was in the Legion of Boom era. Yeah. Plus, he's past that. It's been a while from that. He's past that. Eckler's going to be a problem, and they can't get cooked by Mike Williams. Oh, man. About that whole... my prediction video, I'm going to sit back and talk about this, about what the defense got to do. Seriously, the defense has to do the exact same thing I said they should do against the Colts. Number 1 is stop the run. Number 2, do not give up any big plays. Number 3, put the pressure on the quarterback. They couldn't do any of that. They couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor. They didn't really pressure, Carson Wentz that much or force him to make mistakes. And they gave up big plays. Everything I said they needed to do, they just could not execute on. And that was a problem right there. So we'll see what happens this week. What would you do if the Ravens make the Super Bowl? I'll host a Super Bowl party and we'll be talking. It'll be a whole day type thing. I don't know. But it'll be a Super Bowl party, man. We'll just have a Super Bowl celebration here. We'll talk about the Ravens. We'll talk about everything, man. I'll have a Super Bowl watch party here. It'll be awesome. Excuse me. Guys, you must have forgot Ronnie Stanley is an all-pro tackle. He's clearly better than Marlo. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, obviously he's an all-pro tackle. He's clearly better than the Humphrey. And then, well, first of all, when it comes to Justin Tucker, that's just an exception. Tucker's an exception to everything. Lopez, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by the chat here. Let's be real. Stanley probably ain't even coming back into the playoffs. I expect him back sometime during the second half of the season. I don't think it's going to be all the way until January before we see this man. And November, December, one of those months. Marlon needs to stop trying to punch the ball out and just tackle. We've been saying that, but, it's something he's trying to do. He's trying to force the ball to come out. But I do agree. Put a little bit more emphasis on the tackling over trying to punch the ball out. The defense needs to up its game. Definitely needs to up its game. Ravens should be able to run the ball unless the Chargers sell to stop the run, which I think lots of teams are being put on notice. True. T. Sizzle is passing the torch to Owe. I love what Owe's doing right now, but let's not make comparisons. It's far too early. Parson is only defensive player of the year to people because he's on the Cowboys. Owe has way better stats and won a game for us. I mean, well, yeah. It's. I mean, you mean defensive rookie of the year, but it's. I feel like Owe has a really solid argument to be defensive rookie of the year because, again, he's made plays that have literally impacted the game. He's forced 2 fumbles. The guy's made plays that have impacted the game. If he doesn't do what he does in the Chiefs game, we don't win. And then he just puts the pressure on Carson Wentz and forces the fumble. Owe's been a monster, man. He's doing his thing as a rookie. Marlo definitely going to pick up. I hope so. I hope this whole defense picks up over time. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. What is this about? Oh, about the Thunder? Oh, yeah, Thunder. Yeah, still in the preseason. Next week should be fun. What is it? Opening night? It's the 19th for the NBA season. I'll get to see what the games are. I might have a live stream about that. With the NBA being back, talking basketball. It's an entirely different case when you're talking about basketball as opposed to football. Owe also has Defensive Player of the Week. Yeah, he's been doing his thing, man. I can't believe our rookie Owe is leading our team in sacks, enforced fumbles, and quarterback pressures. I mean, that's not a bad thing. We utilized a first-round pick on this guy. And a lot of people had question marks for him because he didn't get a sack his final year in college. But the fact that you used a first-round pick on this guy and, did the same thing you did with Patrick Queen, first-round pick, and you immediately threw him to the fire. The fact that he's doing this shows that he's the real deal. So, he's going to be that guy for us moving forward. We've been hoping and praying for a pass rusher that can do their job and get to the quarterback and force pressures and force turnovers. That's what Owe's doing. If he's leading in sacks and forced fumbles, I'm 100% happy with that. I want that because it shows he's the guy. And we've been looking for a guy like this for a long time, and he's showing it. He can lead our team in sacks and forced fumbles. We got a bunch of veterans everywhere else. So the fact that this rookie's doing that means we hit on our draft pick. The draft pick we got from the Chiefs in order to give up Orlando Brown, we picked up this guy, and he's showing that he was worth the first-round pick. So I'm happy. Let him be the one to lead in sacks and forced fumbles and quarterback pressures. That's what I want to see because he's a first-round talent, and he's showing it. That was our first-round pick. He's doing what he needs to do. I feel like the defense is focusing on forcing fumbles and tackling. I don't know what the issue with the tackling. They're trying to force turnovers. I see what they're getting, but as a whole, they just gotta do better, man. I picked Queen to break out. Please make me proud. Hopefully, we'll see. I picked him too, but right now I said him and Deshaun Elliott, but right now we just gotta see. It's a long season, man. Owe is a freak of nature. Him and LJ are from different planets. Whew. What are your predictions for Week 6 games? I will be getting out my predictions tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow for that. It'll be a quick one right there to get my predictions out. But I did well again last week. I thought Week 5 was going to be a bad week for me. I went 11-5. I am actually really good at picking NFL games, and I just did not know that. And the sad part is I would have a better record if certain teams could just do the smart thing and just make the smart play and get it done. But it is what it is. If Carson Wentz throws for over 400 yards on the Ravens, Herbert might have 600 yards. Well, hopefully they use that performance of giving up 400 yards and they learn from that and they perform better this week. But who knows? I'm so happy I've been completely wrong about Owe. Yeah, some didn't believe in him, but he's showing it. He is showing it. We need a Robin emoji for Hollywood because him and Bateman are Batman and Robin. All right, you got that one. You got that one. Raven C, my mans, what's going on with you, man? What's going on with you? How you doing, man? How you been? Appreciate you stopping by the chat. Hope you and the fam are doing all right. Hope everything's going well for you guys over there, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Always one of the OGs. One of the members of the Ravens flock. One of the members of the Ravens YouTube, man. Just appreciate you, bruh. Appreciate you stopping by. If you could go back in time, would you go to the day Peters got hurt and go to the practice and stop Marcus Peters from practicing? Man, I would have... Just playing around with me. Okay, what I would have done, man, I would have sent somebody to streak. Not even streak. I would send somebody to just be an interruption on the field. Like, if I have to go there myself and be an interruption, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get kicked out and then just never be able to come back. See, I would hire somebody to go to the practice field. They would have to go all the way down there to interrupt that practice and just mess up the field so that they can't practice that day. That way, we don't. Not only do we not lose Gus Edwards, we also don't lose Marcus Peters. I remember you were so pissed that we traded OBJ for a first-round pick. I wasn't angry that we traded him for a first-round pick. What I was angry about was that we traded him to the Chiefs for a first-round pick. Kansas City needed to fix their offensive line, and we just gifted them a player that could help with that. So, yeah, that was something I was not happy about. So that was definitely a problem right there. So it wasn't about getting a first-round pick for him. It was about giving a Pro Bowl player to the Chiefs to help fix their offensive line, the weakness they had there. Needless to say, that it hasn't exactly worked out for them because the offensive line for the Chiefs as a whole hasn't done well in protecting Mahomes. And then the defense is bad, so it's been rough for them. But, hey, it looks like we got the best out of that trade, so it's all good. It's all good. Bateman equals Batman, Hollywood equals Flash, and Lamar equals Superman. See, he gets it. See, Raven C knows exactly how it is, man. Lamar is Superman, Hollywood's the Flash, that speed is there, and Bateman is Batman. See, he gets it, man. Raven C knows exactly what he's talking about. That's the expert right there. That's the expert right there. Hollywood was unreal in his debut. Yeah, it was insane. What a start for him, too. What a start for him. What up, bro? Dope channel. Are you going to be going live even when football isn't on? Yeah, I'll try to go live. Well, as the NBA season comes up, I'll definitely be trying to go live, at least, when football's not on. But, yeah, I'll be trying to live stream as much as I can. It just depends on if I have the time to, because life and work and, oh, boy. Let's just say life can be rough. And the things you want to do in life, it takes a process to get to where you want to get to. So let's just say that. And that's kind of where I am right now. But it is what it is. But yeah, if I have time to go live, I'll do so. And when the NBA season's starting, I'll definitely be trying to live stream some of those games because, I love the NBA, so I want to talk some basketball. Wow. Orlando Brown will not be missed. We got Owe. I said that after week 2, I was like, Orlando, I appreciate you, man. Good luck in Kansas City. We don't miss you. Owe is everything we wanted. Lamar MVP just showed against Herbo. Yeah, he's going to do his thing. He's going to do his thing on Sunday. He's going to do his thing on Sunday. The Chief gifted us away. Man, they should have never gave us that first-round pick. We got ourselves a pass rusher, ladies and gentlemen. They should have never given us that first-round pick. It looks like we kind of won that trade so far. So as long as Owe continues to improve, we have definitely won the trade, at least right now. And it looks like it's going to be the case. Mark Andrews is Robin. Mark Andrews being Robin. Couldn't he just be the Green Arrow? Because Green Arrow is always consistent and you can trust him. He's reliable. Green Arrow's always reliable. He kind of always is. I don't know. If I was, it'd be funny to actually, I'm going to leave it to the expert himself. My main man, Raven C, man. I want to see, you're good at this. So I would love to see you have a video where you our main guys on the Ravens, you crowned each and every single one of these players as a superhero. Because I know you can do it. You could choose DC or Marvel. Each Ravens player, each of our Ravens guys, who would they be? We already know Lamar would be Superman. Hollywood could be the Flash. Bateman could be Batman. Who would everyone else be? Because that would be nice. I feel like we got to do a collaboration on that because that would be cool to actually think about too. Who do you think is going to win on Sunday? Between the Ravens and the Chargers, I think the Ravens can get that. They're at home, and I'll definitely speak on that for the most part. Definitely work on that for the most part, but we'll see. I think the Ravens could get the win. If we get Bateman, Lamar, and Hollywood in one pick, I need the Ravens to post it in a caption B. You do Batman X Flash X Superman. We could do that. I'm a new subscriber. Glad to find your channel, Ravens. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the flock. Yeah, fun fact, Lamar is already second all-time in Ravens passing yards already. Shows how bad we have had franchise quarterbacks. I'm glad we have a swift transition from Flacco to Lamar. It's been very weird like that, you know. We don't really talk about it, but we've had a nice had a nice transition from for quarterbacks. You know, you go from Flacco, who was consistent, to Lamar, who's this MVP guy. It's been nice. So we haven't exactly dropped off. We had the rough years with Flacco, where we were in the mix, but we couldn't make the playoffs, and then we transitioned to Lamar, and all of a sudden we're back to being a contending team. But, you know, it is what it is. Chiefs pass rush is why their defense sucks. Their pass rush is bad, but most importantly, that secondary is a problem. Other than Honey Badger, who do you trust in the secondary? I don't think anyone can really answer that question. Love the energy, bro. Need that after a heart attack, close game, and a tough Raider loss. I appreciate that, man. Lamar is Luffy, Bateman is Zoro, and Hollywood is Sanji. As a One Piece fan myself, could I say that? That's a I would actually have to take time to think about that too. Because I mean, both Zoro and Sanji are a beast, and then Lamar being with Luffy, I would have to think about that. That's an interesting combination there. Would I want to put Bateman as Zoro? Or would I want to put Hollywood as? I would have to think about that. I would really have to think about that. Oh, we got another one of the homies here. Got my main guys from the lunch break. Hot take. What's going on with you guys? Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, man, that was a crazy game, wasn't it? I was keeping up with week 5. Ravens Colts Monday Night Football was a crazy game, man. It was definitely. Man, it's gonna be a game to remember. But I don't know why we're dealing with all these heart attacks with these games, all these come from behind wins. It's been crazy so far. It's been crazy so far. It's definitely been it's been a joy. It's been a joy, and it's been crazy. Since I do have you guys here, I'm gonna need y'all to explain what happened with this man Sam Darnold. I don't know what I witnessed there. Why did the Panthers get conservative? It felt like they were playing to win the game, and they took their foot off the gas pedal. Darnold didn't have a great game. The turnovers was definitely hurt, but it felt like they let that game get away from them, and I'm not sure what. It's like they took that 15-3 lead, and then they just decided to be complacent and say, we have the lead, we don't want to lose it, and it's just like nothing happened. That's who he is. Yeah, Sam Darnold, that's who he is. I get the turnovers. He's not going to change, but I feel like overall, it felt like the team was just kind of playing to just try to hold on to the lead as opposed to try and be a little bit more aggressive. And it kind of hurt. It hurt them at the end. Because you're up 15-3 and you just can't really do anything on offense afterwards. You're going up against the Eagles. The Eagles team could not really stop anything last week against obviously two different offenses, but it just felt like the Panthers kind of just gave that away, which I was very disappointed because I picked the Panthers to win that game. And when I'm looking at them up 15-3, I'm thinking they're going to hold on to this, but they just slowly blow that lead and they let the Eagles get back into the game. Darnold is Darnold, but man, I just felt like down the stretch they could have done better as a unit. But hey, it is what it is. The Panthers, Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. You're going to have to deal with them the best way you can. They had chances to extend the lead, but Darnold couldn't hit any of his wide receivers down the field. All right, boy. That does make sense, too. It's just, with Darnold, you're going to deal with that. You're definitely going to deal with that. You're going to deal with the turnovers. You're going to deal with the missed opportunities. With Darnold, it always seems like turnovers are guaranteed. and there's going to be opportunities where you can take over, or at least get some big play down the field, and maybe Darnold would hit on one or two of those plays where it's like, man, you see the talent? Did you see that throw? That's an elite throw, and it's just like other chances he has to do so, he misses on those opportunities. So yeah, just him turning the ball over and him missing out on opportunities, that's just been Darnold's career. It's just been Darnold's career so far. And he's done a good job so far this season with not being the Sam Darnold we know him to be, but it showed up, man. It showed up. It showed up, and it showed up in a big way against the Eagles, and ultimately that cost him the game. But yeah, do appreciate you guys stopping by. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, that Ravens game was crazy. And we have an even crazier game this upcoming Sunday against the Chargers. It's going to be wild. Loyal to Houston, what's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. Your Texans, man, I don't know how you blow that lead to the Patriots. You know, Davis Mills played well. Did not exactly expect that. I didn't see that coming, but he did. Unfortunately, y'all couldn't hold on to the league. By the way, how does the Patriots defense get caught on a flea flicker? Oh, wow. How did they get caught on a flea flicker? It's 2021. How did they get caught on that? That's not supposed to work. Belichick might be getting old, but yeah, that was a tough loss for the Texans. Lamar balled the hell out on Monday night. Yeah, man, he went crazy. He went crazy. Oh, boy, he went crazy. It was a great game. But yeah, Ravens, I'm going to work on that, definitely. But yeah, man, Luffy and Lamar, He used anime characters. I don't watch anime. Oh yeah, you don't watch anime, so you just not gonna know what we're talking about, man. You ain't gonna know nothing about those posters behind us, so you ain't gonna know nothing about that. If Lamar wins MVP and drags us to the Super Bowl and wins it or just makes it, he'll be the greatest quarterback ever. I don't know about that greatest quarterback ever. It's tough to say something like that. Don't think that could be the case. What is Luffy's character supposed to be that he should be Lamar? Well, Lamar is the leader of the team, and Luffy's the leader of his squad, the Straw Hats. Also, you never count out Lamar like you never count out Luffy. Luffy's always been underrated since the beginning of the series, and it's still the case even now. And Lamar, since the beginning of his career, has been underrated. But Lamar continues to improve, just like Luffy continued to get stronger, and he started to prove all those people that weren't really saying much about him to prove them wrong. Whenever they said Luffy couldn't do something, he did it. And, he's still chasing after his goals and dreams just like Lamar. I'm just trying to make connections here. It's just like Luffy's the leader of his group. Lamar's the leader of his squad here. Both these guys were underestimated, but then in anime, you always underestimate the main character in shonen. But, they were both underestimated. They proved people wrong, and they continue to get better. Luffy gets stronger each arc. Lamar is getting stronger, getting better each season, and it's just for the most part, it comes down to the fact that you never count out Luffy and you never count out Lamar. That's the comparison he's making there, if you want to know about that. I hope when Bateman scores, the crowd does the Adam West Batman theme, but instead of saying Batman, they said Bateman. That would be wild. Do you think Lamar will have a Flacco type of career? In terms of making it to multiple AFC Championship games, winning a Super Bowl? Yeah, I hope so. But after he got the contract, no. The first 5 years of Flacco's career, I want that to be Lamar's career throughout his entire time at Baltimore. The last 5 years, no. Ravens about to give us 5 more heart attacks. I bet on it. I hope they don't, man. I don't want that. I hope we don't have that. What's been the best victory so far for the Ravens this season? Chiefs. Chiefs has been the best victory. No question. Chiefs have been the best victory. Do y'all remember when King Henry used Earl Thomas as a lead blocker? That was a rough time. Darnold was a turnover machine in college. Yeah, he definitely was, and he still brings that sometimes. Who do you think is going to win? Chargers or Ravens? I'm taking the Ravens in this matchup. Yeah, special teams, miscue, and coaching lost the game from Houston Sunday. But yeah, that's it's always a special. Why is it always a coaching issue when it comes to the Texans? Hey, well, it is what it is there, You just deal with it how you deal with it. Why can't people shut up about this John Gruden thing? It's like the guy has obviously changed in the last 10 years. Yeah, I've already had my whole discussion about that when I made my John Gruden video. I'm going to let it slide, in which I had to say. It's like, I'm going to have to slide after that. Lamar said he needs AK to Kodak Bob. What you do? I'm not finna do nothing like that on a live stream. Nah, bro. Like Lamar said when it was asked him a question earlier, he was like, bro, I'm not finna dance that. I'm not about to embarrass myself like that. I ain't gonna do nothing like that. Mark Sanchez is underrated. He made it to back-to-back AFC Championship games in his first and second year and gets hate. Well, I mean, yeah, early on in his career, he was definitely something, but afterwards, he didn't do anything, so that's the case. I've never watched anime a day in my life, so I have no idea what he's talking about. Trust me, you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyone who's watched anime, or at least a little, you know what I'm talking about. I was just saying in terms of the comparison, basically, both people were talking about when he's comparing an anime character to Lamar. Basically, the anime characters share some similar traits to what Lamar has. Both are leaders of their own groups. Both of them were underestimated. Both of them are proving people wrong. And both of them you just don't count out. It's as simple as that. You don't have to know about the anime side. Just know, simple as that, they share some traits. That's why he made the comparison. Nobody can beat Goku. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's built up. That's pretty much how they built up Goku. It's how it is in anime. No one's beating Goku. That's just how it is. Because no matter what, he's always going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. The only exception is Saitama, but Saitama's broken, so that's a different situation. Those Jets teams were all defense. Yeah, those Jets teams were definitely defense, man. They were defense. They did their thing, man. Those Jets teams did their thing. The fact that they were able to beat the Patriots in the postseason, that speaks volumes for what the Jets defense did. Rex Ryan did not fear Bill. Yeah, Rex Ryan actually did a great job those 2 years with Sanchez. But, it is what it is with that. Should John Harbaugh be Iron Man and Greg Roman be Robin? I don't know if you can have John Harbaugh be Iron Man. That's I might as well just. I mean, if we're gonna use somebody for Harbaugh, put Nick Fury. Nick Fury would be full. I can call John Harbaugh Nick Fury because Nick Fury's not afraid to do what he's got to do, and John Harbaugh at the times he's not afraid to pull the trigger. So I could say Harbaugh is Nick Fury. Is Ray Lewis the greatest vocal leader in history? In history? You mean like in like NFL history or just history in general? Because those are two different things, my man. Those are two different things. It's like those are two different things. Ozzy is Nick Fury easily. I can give you that. Ozzy would have to be Nick Fury. I can give you that. I can definitely give you that. Because Ozzy was cold, man. Ozzy was cold. That man dominated. That's actually a better fit. And I know that's a better fit because, like, Ozzy did it in the NFL. He's a Hall of Famer for what he did as a player, and he's a Hall of Famer of what he did as a GM. I mean, the man was cold on all phases, just like Nick Fury. So, yeah, that's actually a better fit. Who would be Harbaugh, though, if we were trying to pick on somebody? Did Ozzy move up to a higher place in the Ravens front office? I mean, I don't know. There's no higher place other than like. There's no. Yes. Guys, Harbaugh, Thunderbolt. Yes. You picked it. Yes. That is the comparison. That's a good comparison right there. Because I was like, well, that's a comparison right there. That's a perfect comparison. See, my guys at the lunch break hot take coming up clutch. They know their stuff. That is a fantastic comparison. And I will give you that. Should T-Sizzle be the Hulk? Huh. Think about that. I could. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I like that comparison, having T-Sizzle be the Hulk, because, like, off the field, like, Terrell Suggs is just he's a cool guy. Like, in some cases, he seems to be a cool guy off the field, but then when he's on the field, he's just an absolute beast, and he's ready to wreak havoc. So I think that's an interesting comparison there. Definitely an interesting comparison. Sutton, what's going on, man? What's going on? Appreciate you stopping by, my man. Appreciate you stopping by. Easy broke the wide receiver curse, in my opinion. Well, yeah, you hit on Hollywood because he's definitely looking like it. And we'll see what happened with Rashad Bateman. Thor is Ray Lewis. So what would Ed Reed be then? What would Ed Reed be? What would Ed Reed be? I don't want to say Captain America. I don't want to say Captain America, Winter Soldier. Who do I want to... Black Panther. You know what? That's a nice one. Black Panther would be a nice one. No, not Loki. Not Loki. Not Loki. I'm not finna... No. No. Like, Doctor Strange is also a nice one. But you're not about to say Ed Reed is Loki. No, we're not finna do Ed Reed like that. Juggernaut, Terminator. Ed Reed as Doctor Strange could definitely work. Who should be Groot? Calais Campbell. I mean, Groot was always reliable, and I'm just saying, if we're talking about like historic for the Ravens in terms of our legacy, I would just say Haloti Ngata would probably be Groot of the group. But if we're talking about right now, I could be like Calais Campbell. Black Panthers, Lamar. If we're talking about Marvel, that's a different situation. Marlon Humphrey is Aquaman. But he's a fish about to be cooked. You're wrong for that. Captain Marvel. Yes. Captain Marvel. Yeah. Flacco was Spider. Bro, that is perfect. Flacco was Spider-Man. If you think about this, Flacco was Spider-Man. Regular season Joe Flacco was Peter Parker. Playoff Flacco, a.k.a. January Joe, was Spider-Man. That is perfect. Joe Flacco was Spider-Man. The minute he put that mask on and headed into the postseason, that was different. You're like, that is not the same person. Legit. It's like, Peter Parker, who's this guy, man? Joe Flacco, man, can't do anything in the regular season, man. You sure this guy's a franchise quarterback? You think this guy's going to do any all-time great things and come up clutch? Just like Peter Parker. Who looked at Peter Parker and said, yeah, this guy could be Spider-Man? No one thought that. And then all of a sudden, bam, enter the postseason, comes out clutch. Spider-Man always comes out clutch. Like, bro, this is not the same guy. Like, if anybody was to really look at the mask and be like, take off the mask, Spider-Man's like, I'm Peter Parker, people would be shocked. No one would believe that. But then you look the same with Flacco. You look at his postseason and regular season stats, you're like, this is not the same quarterback. Tom Brady is Venom. Venom or Carnage. Tom Brady got Carnage. See, we gotta do this. This is fun. We gotta do this at some point. Cause like we gotta come together and come up with a whole list of our NFL players and which superheroes they would be, superheroes or villains. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. How do you feel about how the Chiefs been doing? The Chiefs. Chiefs have not been looking well. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Chiefs defensively. Can't stop the run, can't stop the pass. Their run defense is pitiful. Their pass defense is just bad. Other than the Honey Badger, who do you trust in the secondary? They can't stop a nosebleed right now. Then you look at the offensive side. The O-line has not actually been... They've been doing a really, really poor job of protecting Patrick Mahomes. Sometimes he's leaving the pocket of his own accord, but other times they're just not protecting him. So, yeah, offensive line hasn't been consistent. Defense has been bad. Things aren't looking good for the Chiefs right now. They got to get their crap together. 2-3 on the season. The Chargers look like they're gonna take the division, and the Chargers keep playing like this. They definitely will take the division. Brady's is Thanos easily, bro. He's got all the Infinity Stones. He's got them. Like Brady's Thanos. Like Brady is Thanos. To Ravens fans, the Steelers is Thanos. Nah, not really. Not to Steelers is Steelers are not Thanos, man. Ooh, wait. Okay, let me think about it. If I was to choose Brady, Brady would either be Thanos or Doctor Doom. I feel like if we're talking about like Brady would be Thanos or Doctor Doom. Like just Doctor Doom or Thanos would be a great fit for Brady. It just feels like that. It feels like that. Like Thanos or Doctor Doom would be a nice fit for that. Bill is Doctor Doom. Like he's just sitting at his empire and just watching. And just that is nice. Bill Belichick is just sitting at his empire. Who's Peyton Manning? Who would be Peyton Manning? Honestly, with the way Peyton Manning was, you might as well give him the Captain America. Like you legit could give like Brady the Captain America look right there. Like you could really have like not even Brady, but I mean Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning could be like Captain America. I could see that fitting in. I mean, I could see that. I could see that. I could definitely see that. If I think Brady is Thanos, bro, he's got all the Infinity Stones. Steelers are Loki. So many of them is confused and lost too. Yeah, I don't know what Steelers fans thinking. They're Thanos to us. Peyton equals Star-Lord. Come on, man, don't do that to him. I'm not saying Peyton Manning is Star-Lord. No. Reed was super smart like Peyton was at the line of scrimmage. Oh, yeah, definitely. Mr. Fantastic's a nice... Ooh. Let me think. Okay, so now, if you want to think about who would Wolverine be? Like, just in the league in general, who would Wolverine be? Like, who would Wolverine actually be? Was Peyton and Eli commentating Monday Night Football this week? Unfortunately not. I think they were off for like 3 weeks. They're not really set to do every single Monday Night Football game, which is unfortunate, but they'll be back in a couple weeks. Brady has all the rings like the Infinity Gauntlet. Exactly. Frank Gore would be Logan. He's just as old. You know what? He's old. You know what? At this point, does he even like Frank Gore is just old and tough, and you never see him get hurt. And even if he does, he just comes back and he still plays. Like at this point, Frank Gore, he might actually be Logan. He's probably just as old, and it's just like this guy does not get hurt. Like Frank Gore could definitely be Logan. Not to mention, it works out. It works out. He definitely would be Wolverine. It works out. Peyton is Professor X. Professor X, because Professor X was... Yeah, because Peyton had complete control. I couldn't say Aaron Rodgers is Wolverine. I couldn't see that. Aaron Rodgers should be Hawkeye. I mean, he's accurate. Hawkeye is accurate with those arrows, and Aaron Rodgers is accurate with his passes, so... that's a neat one right there. But yeah, Peyton Manning as Professor X, that works because like that man was just knowledgeable about everything. Like he knew every single phase of the offense, and he just had complete control. He just had complete control of the offense. Like he just knew, just like Professor X, he knew. He just knew. So yeah, that one right there could work. That Professor X can definitely work. Frank Gore should play for free at this point in his career. I don't see why he would play for free. If anything, Belichick should be Kingpin. Roger Goodell is Galactus. Professor X is Belichick. Nah. I couldn't have Belichick. Nah, I'd rather have Belichick be like Kingpin as opposed to Professor X. Or you could just have him being like Doctor Doom. Like I couldn't take him being Professor X. Like he got to be like a villain or something. Like nah. Who should be the Joker? I mean, Who should be the Joker? Lamar equals Black Panther or Kid Flash. Nah, he couldn't be Kid Flash. He would have to be the Flash. I'm not even gonna lie. I know, trust me, I've seen it on my timeline plenty of times. When I made this a while back, when I definitely made superhero things, I had 3 people when it came to Lamar. I was like, what should Lamar be? I mean, obviously, you could give him the Superman title, you can give him the Flash title. I'm not even joking. The first thing somebody threw at me was Static Shock, and I had to sit there and deal with that. And I was like, I can't even hate on it because Static Shock, again, the man controls electricity, and Lamar Jackson is electric. What am I supposed to say when somebody hits me and say Lamar Jackson is Static Shock? And I'm like, you just saying that because of the braids. But it's like, nah, he controls electricity, and Lamar is electric. So, like, I heard that, and I was just like, I had no response for that. So, yeah, I was like, he could be Superman. He could be the Flash. Some people, like, because he's electric, he can be Static Shock. Which was a good show, by the way. I probably should go back and, whenever I have a chance, I got to go back and rewatch Static Shock because that was a good show. I did like it. Mahomes is Deadpool. Mahomes being dead, like he just breaks everything. He just breaks everything and just has complete control. I mean, Mahomes in some cases does break the game, but even Mahomes has weaknesses. Well, then again, so does Deadpool. But, then again, with Deadpool, it's always like with his weaknesses, really just has to deal with him, believing because of his incredible healing factor. It's just like he's free to just do whatever he wants, which makes him act very reckless. And in Mahomes' case, he's just very free, whatever. He just tosses up anything. Big Ben is old Batman that had to wear an iron suit. Like, he's just at that. Big Ben being an old bat. Yeah, at this point, that would be funny. That would be like, yeah. Big Ben could be like the old Batman that had to wear an iron suit. Or he could be like Batman from like the first, like the beginning before he actually quit. Like the beginning of Batman Beyond, where he had that new suit. He was just like an old man that was still trying to fight. And it's like, old man, just put it down. Retire. It's over, man. It's over. We see you don't have much left. Just let it go. Like, we see the end of the ropes. Because, like, in the first episode of Batman Beyond, like, Batman legit had to utilize a gun just to protect himself. And at that point, he was like, never again. And he put the suit down. So, like, Big Ben is legit, like, Batman at the first episode of Batman Beyond. Like, bro, just retire. You're done. Just retire. Please, do the Steelers a favor and call it a career. You're going to be in Canton. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. After what we're seeing this season, can we just be like at the end of the season, never again, Ben? Like Batman did, he retired from superhero. Just retire, man. Call it a career. You have served your duty for the Steelers. You've won 2 Super Bowls. You will be in Canton. Call it a career, please. Please. This is the weirdest conversation. Yeah, this turned into something truly special. This is something that's turned. Should Tucker be Robin? You couldn't have Justin Tucker be Robin. You couldn't have. Justin Tucker's not a Robin. I mean, that man has saved this franchise far too many times. I couldn't have Justin Tucker as a Robin. He should be Mr. Glass. Could Ed Reed be the Green Goblin? No. Ed Reed Ant-Man, because he pops out of nowhere. You know what? Yeah, he be utilizing those powers because, like, legit, Peyton Manning would just be throwing the ball and out of nowhere, boom, Ed Reed's right there in the secondary. Brady and Belichick would be like, don't throw it this man's direction. And they would do it. Tucker's definitely Hawkeye. He doesn't miss. Yeah, he's Hawkeye. That man does not miss. He is on target. I couldn't have Tucker as freaking Robin. No, he's Hawkeye. He doesn't miss. He's always on target. He doesn't miss. Deadpool actually fell in love with death, so he can't die, even if he was obliterated from existence. Yeah, I remember about that whole thing. It's very weird because, like, who was it? I can't remember that comic. I read it for a while because I know it's such a weird situation with Deadpool and Deadpool series is just weird in general. It's just weird in general. Because it's just a whole mess with Deadpool. Because he can pretty much do whatever he wants. And that's just how the series is. But yeah, Ed Reed be popping up out of nowhere, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy how he can just pop up out of nowhere, and people just be like, yeah, there he is. There he is. It's out of nowhere. Boom, pick. It's like, how did he do that? Peyton Manning will throw down there. Ed Reed's ready to pick him off. Brady and Belichick will be like, do not throw towards this man's direction. They're going to be like, yeah, we're not going to look towards his direction. We're not even going to try to throw towards his direction. They'll throw towards the opposite side. Boom. Ed Reed raced across the field to make that pick, and it's like, how does that happen? How does that happen? How does that happen? Ed Reed is Nightcrawler. That's... Yeah, because you just can't... Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that. So who's Jamal Lewis? Jamal Lewis be... You would have to get somebody who's a beast from Juggernaut. Jamal Lewis was a beast, so I could see a Juggernaut. You would have to put somebody there like a Juggernaut who's just a beast. Marcus Peters is Vegeta. He's on another series. Like, he's just... Well, I mean, Vegeta is definitely one to show his pride. And, you know what? Let's not get into that past because I feel like if I say more, it's going to be like, oh, so you're going to say that about Marcus Peters? I mean, we know who Vegeta is. We know about his backstory. I'm just saying. But that still is an interesting fit, though. Randy Moss is Green Lantern. Except, unfortunately, he doesn't have the ring to... You know what? I'm not going to do Randy Moss like that. I'm not going to finish that line. I'm not going to do Randy Moss like that. Big Ben reminds me of Bruce Banner in the Hulk Buster suit. Pretty much just an old man holding on at this point. Yeah, Ed Reed's Nightcrawler works as well. It definitely works as well. Because, again, you just never see him coming. Big Ben is the 2000 Hulk movie people just forgot about. People don't really talk about that movie. What has that ever been? No one brings that up that much. So that is definitely a great comparison. It's like, bro, Ben starting to slowly fade away, especially in the AFC North. It was like he's that 2000 Hulk movie people just forgot about. Like, we're just trying to forget that happened. Lamar as Miles Morales, probably bioelectric powers. Yeah, that Hulk movie was terrible. I mean, it was awful. It was awful. Zach Wilson is Shazam in kid form. Come on, don't do him like that. Don't do this man like that. Don't do this man like that. Can't say Shazam in kid form. Don't do him like that. Come on, bro. Don't do him like that. He's a rookie, man. Come on, don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. That's funny though, but don't what? Oh, huh. Oh, okay. Hold up. Oh, no, never mind. But don't do him like that. Mahomes is Green Lantern, one ring, and he does the no-look passes and just does it. Mahomes with the no-look passes thing, I feel like at some point, it feels like with Mahomes sometimes he's been doing things that he's been getting away with things that he shouldn't have been getting away with. It's just like, we know how talented he is, but at some point you can't be doing that consistently because defenders watch film. At some point they're going to start to pick up on these things. So it's just like the no-look passes. I don't want to say he shouldn't do it, but at the same time, you don't want to rely on those. It's just like you don't want to continue to do those because at some point, defenders are going to be able to make plays on that. And it's just like, no. I understand no-look pass. It's flashy. It's nice, but it's just like, Tyreek Hill is flash. I mean, that is pretty much, it's just a definition of speed, so you can give him that. He's easily the Flash. Harbaugh as Yamato / Kakashi trying to control Lamar the Ninetales. I don't know how to feel about that comparison. I don't know how to feel about that comparison. That's a weird comparison. I don't know how to feel about that comparison. I definitely, I don't know how to feel about that comparison. I really don't know how to feel about that comparison. That's a weird comparison. That's definitely a weird comparison. I have no clue how I feel about that. That is a weird comparison, but it's a funny one. Lamar is mean to well, yeah, because he's a Flash. I got you with that. Ravens fan at the bank. Can we start a big trust chat? 2012 and beyond. After that game, it was big trust. Can we start a trust? I don't know. Somebody would have to start that up. Wouldn't mind it, but somebody would have to start that up. Because it's all about, it's all about trust over here, man. That's what the Ravens do. Predictions for Bateman's. I'm sorry. I know he's Batman. I legit read that as Batman for a second. In my mind, I was like, prediction for Batman Day. I was like, Batman debut in LA. He's in Gotham City. And I was like, wait, no, that's Bateman. I read that wrong in my mind. So predictions for Bateman's debut against LA. If Bateman was to play, which it looks like they are prepping him up to play against the Chargers, because he had an opportunity to potentially play against, the Colts on Monday night, but they decided to give him extra time. So week 6 probably when he's going to come back. So if we're looking at it like that, if he does get to play, I don't really see him having like an epic. I'm not trying to say that he can't have a great game. It could very well happen, but I don't think the Ravens are ready to just utilize him and just throw him out there and be like, bam, go ahead and do what you got to do. Be the guy immediately. I don't think he's going to have like a Hollywood type of performance. See, what you got to understand is there was a key difference here. With Hollywood, it was an entirely different situation. Because, Lamar, his rookie year, he had Willie Snead, Crabtree, and then Brown. So those were his receivers. Then after that, you draft this guy in Hollywood Brown. You also get Miles Boykin. So now he's got new receivers to utilize. And Hollywood Brown is somebody he has a close relationship with. They've known each other since they were kids. They played against each other. They go way back. So once he was drafted here, like his first game was already going to be epic because they were both going back to Miami, which is where they're both from in Florida. So like they're both from Florida. So like no question, it was going to be a crazy matchup and Lamar was going to be looking to hit his guys. So he had a crazy game. But with Bateman, it's kind of different. We've already got our weapons that are standard here. You've got Hollywood. You've got Mark Andrews as your guys. Now, of course, if Sammy was here, he'd be that number 3 guy. But since Sammy won't be here, Bateman has a chance to be that potential side. So I don't see that. I don't really see Bateman having a huge game here, like similar to what Hollywood Brown had, because we didn't have any guy. Hollywood was the guy we drafted for that. In this case, we do have guys here with Brown and Andrews that are taking over, and they're the main guys that Lamar targets. So it's a bit different here. So I don't think Bateman's going to really do much. If he does get to play and he's on the field, they may utilize him in a couple quick throws just to get the ball in his hands and let him do something easy. They're not going to give him anything complicated. They may not even look for him downfield. I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to manage this. Was Boykin playing against the Colts? I didn't see him. Yeah, Boykin played, but he only played on special teams. They didn't throw him in immediately. They didn't throw him in immediately. They kind of want to ease him in. So just like Bateman, I think like Boykin, he's gonna get eased in. Bateman's going to get eased in as well. We can't just expect him to come in and just take over. Even the media is trying to do that right now. Like, they're still talking about the receivers like, oh, man, if you see what Lamar's doing right now, just wait till Rashad Bateman comes up, the number 1, the first-round draft pick for them. Oh, man, this Ravens pass game, it's doing its thing. Lamar is being great, but he's got to get a number 1 receiver. When Bateman comes back, it's going to be great. Like, even the media has been doing that. And it's like, bro, this is a rookie coming off of an injury, a groin injury, in fact. You can't just expect him to come off and ball out. Now, if he does, I will be amazed. I will love it. I will enjoy it. But we can't sit there and just have that be the expectation. Bateman must be prime 07 Moss or he's a bust. That's how it feels like they're doing him at this point. It feels like they're doing him at this point, man. We got to ease up, man. We got to ease up. You can't just expect him to just come in and just automatically dominate and just do what happens. It feels like we're putting all these high expectations on Bateman, and if he doesn't end up playing like a number 1 receiver, all of a sudden people are going to look at him and say, well, he's a bust. And people love to throw that title around very quickly. when it takes time. This is not Madden where it's like, okay, you see, Bateman could be that number one guy. If we throw him in, play some Madden here, Lamar targets him. Oh, man, you saw that game right there? Freaking 12 catches, 275 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Bateman's, man, beast. This isn't Madden, man. This is life. This is reality. And the reality of this is it's going to take time. And we have to be patient. He's a rookie. You can't expect him to come in and all of a sudden he's going to be the number one receiver right off the bat. Especially since we're seeing what Hollywood's doing and we see what Mark Andrews doing. You can't expect him to be the number one guy. It takes time. So I love Rashad Bateman. I can't wait to see what he does on the field. But understand, it's going to be a process. You can't just expect Lamar to just all of a sudden give this man a bunch of targets. Lamar loves to target Hollywood. He loves to target Mark Andrews. This year, he's been sharing the wealth. So even with him still targeting Hollywood and Mark Andrews, you still got to understand when Bateman comes back, you can't expect him to get all targets. This man, James Prochet, has proven himself. Same for Devin Duvernay. And if you've seen, both Duvernay and Prochet are getting more targets. With Sammy Watkins is the third guy. Watkins is not going to be playing against the Chargers, most likely. But, he's that third guy. So, it's going to be a struggle for targets in this type of offense. Because, you got too many guys you're utilizing. Bateman will get his time. But it's going to be a process. It's going to take time. The NFL is paying trying to capture this Cherokee run offense known as the Ravens. That's a funny one. That's actually a funny one. Boykin played special teams. Do you think the Ravens learned a lot about themselves after the Colts game? Well, they learned they can come back from a huge deficit, and at the end of the day, no matter what happens, they shouldn't panic. They should continue to play, and if they continue to play and not panic, anything can happen and they can get the job done potentially. So they did learn, or at least they learned a lot about Lamar and Lamar's just will to win. I think the media and everyone learned about Lamar's will to win. Even if you want to hate on the performance and say, oh, anybody could have done this, give the man credit. You're down 19. I don't care what you say. Most quarterbacks and most people in that situation believe the game was over. People went to sleep afterwards and were shocked when they woke up and saw the comeback. Give the man his credit. Of course, it was a team effort because you needed some plays to happen. Shout out to Calais Campbell for that block. But, of course, again, you got to give Lamar his credit for what he did during that stretch. Some Ravens fans expect Bateman to be Batman for the whole season. But if he plays like photographer Peter Parker, he's going to get mad criticism. Yeah, definitely. He's going to get criticism, which is going to be unwarranted because he's a rookie. He doesn't deserve that type of criticism, but they're going to throw it at him. I mean, where does Boykin fit on this offense? Honestly, I have no clue. Because with the way Prochet and Duvernay have been balling out and the way they're getting targets, they're getting more trust from Lamar Jackson, and they're getting good looks. Duvernay and Prochet are being utilized on this offense. So where does Boykin fit in? You think about it, the main guys, Hollywood, Mark Andrews, Sammy Watkins. Those are your three guys. Then you add Bateman to the mix. You're hopeful he can join that other crew and become a primary target. Okay, what happens afterwards? Well, in terms of tight end, Josh Oliver's kind of taking that spot. But once Boyle gets back, that's the number 2 tight end right there. We know what he can do as a blocking. He's the best blocking tight end in the league. And we know what he can do. He can definitely help out in the pass game. So that's another target when he comes back. But then you look at, okay, is it time for Boykin? Well, Duvernay and Prochet have done so well in training camp and have done so well to prove themselves, they're getting targets. Duvernay's already got a touchdown on the season. They continue to feed Prochet. In fact, he had his best game of his career against the Broncos. They're feeding Duvernay and Prochet more. So where does Boykin fit into this equation? I have no clue. That's why people keep trying to force and say, well, if you move Boykin to tight end, he'll be utilized more. But I don't know, man. I don't know. See, Odell came off injury and went true. Never mind Bateman time. Yeah, but I mean, well, yeah, if you're talking about now, it's a different situation. But yeah, I don't know where Bateman's gonna fit in. I don't know. Why can't EA make Madden harder? I feel like I throw 500 yards and 6 touchdowns every game. They don't. EA doesn't really try with Madden, so it is what it is. Lamar, top 7 best quarterbacks, or lower or higher. You can put him top 7. I mean, he's a top 10 quarterback, no doubt. You can have him within the top 7. The Ravens have a versatile quarterback in Lamar Jackson. He proved he is an elite quarterback. Yeah, well, he has to prove. Well, yeah, now he has to improve if he can win a Super Bowl. True. He's got to improve. He's got to prove he can win a championship. And once you do that, hey, like I said, I like to compare Lamar Jackson to Giannis because again, there's such unique talents, and you just don't know what you're gonna get from them. They're unique talents, but in their past, they had certain weaknesses in their games that people exploited. And so, like with Lamar and Giannis, they continued to improve on their game, and Giannis broke free. Giannis improved on his game until he became an MVP, and then he improved on his game even more until he became a champion. Now, he still has things he needs to continue to improve on, but he's young and he's a champion. The same can happen with Lamar. After you watch that Colts game, what do you see or learn from the Ravens going forward? Yeah, we learned that this team can come back from a deficit and that they can deal with adversity. This is a different Ravens team compared to the previous years. This team has actually dealt with a lot of adversities, especially when it comes back from double digits. And you can see Lamar is better prepared for situations like this, and it's never over as long as you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. He's put himself in that same position where it's like with Patrick Mahomes, it's never over if you have Patrick Mahomes. If you have Russell Wilson, it's never over until it's over. Lamar has put himself in that. He's putting himself in that title right there. To come back down 19, yeah. You've learned that Lamar, man, he's definitely that guy. His will to win is up there with the greats. Defense will be the cause of our downfall in the playoffs. Yeah, if they keep playing like this, they definitely will. Is Bateman playing against the Chargers? We need all the help. I don't know if he's going to play against the Chargers. It looks like he's leaning towards that, but we haven't gotten anything official yet. Lamar Jackson has top six passing yards and has more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson is elite. Yeah, I think they brought it out. He's 5th in passing yards this season and 8th in rushing yards. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Boykin odd man out pretty much. Jacoby Jones is passing the torch to Duvernay. I hope he does because we need some kick returns for touchdowns, man. We need those. Same for punt returns. Waiting for Prochet touchdown. It's coming, man. It's coming. Prochet's been working hard, and he's showing off. And Tylan Wallace. I think Hollywood would definitely be the top offense. He would definitely be the top offense receiver. Reminds me of the 2017 to 2019 Vikings with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Yeah. I definitely believe in that, too. I don't know what they're going to do with Tylan Wallace because they haven't really given him that much looks or anything, but, I hope so. I just don't know. Boykin's going to be the odd man out. Yeah, Boykin and Ferg gone after the season. I can very well see that. Unless all of a sudden they decide to, move Boykin into a tight end position, I don't see how he's going to survive in this receiving corps because Hollywood is doing his thing. Sammy Watkins, if we keep him long term, well, that's another spot. And then Bateman. And then you see what Duvernay and Prochet are doing. How do you rip that apart? It's going to be tough to see. Unless Boykin comes out of nowhere and he's just dominating. But just, I don't know. Boykin's going to be a tough case. He's going to be on special teams, potentially. I just don't know what you do with Boykin. Madden better put Lamar's overall up and give Mark Andrews his superstar factor. Madden needs to fix some things. I can't believe Prochet was a 6th-round pick. I mean, this guy had glue for hands in college. The one thing he does is catch the football. The guy has the best hands on the team. If we're talking about hands, the best hands on the team is James Prochet. The second best hands on the team would be Devin Duvernay. Hollywood Brown will be number 1 receiver. Bateman 2 and Watkins, would be 3. And then Wallace, Duvernay, Prochet would be the slot and other guys. So, I don't know where Boykin fits into this equation. How many Super Bowls will we win with Lamar? I have no clue, but let's start with at least 1. Can we at least have 3 to 4 blowouts this year like in 2019? I want to see Huntley and Wallace play. I would love to see those guys come in. Yeah, Boykin and Ferg are straight disappointments. Again, Boykin hasn't played this year. See, here's my thing with Boykin. He hasn't played this year. And we've all seen that clearly the route running has improved for all the receivers. The play calling in terms of the passing schemes in general has improved. So we've seen Hollywood's taken his game to another level. I don't know if Boykin's done the same. I can't say he has. I can't say he hasn't. So if Boykin gets on the field and all of a sudden he starts getting open and all of a sudden we start throwing 50-50 balls to him and he starts actually utilizing his size, hey, kudos to him. But I haven't seen anything from Boykin. All we can do is remember the pass. But we got to understand, this is a different Ravens team. This passing game and the way the receivers are running routes is not the same in previous years. So let's give Boykin a chance. Because, again, they've been disappointments so far. Well, I don't know what Ferguson can do to improve that. But Boykin, at least if he can get on the field and do something this season, he can prove himself. Jalen Ferguson walked by me one time, and I didn't know who he was until my dad told me. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Hollywood is on pace for a Pro Bowl / All-Pro season right now. Keith Williams and T. Martin turned water into gold. Man, Hollywood, they have fixed his route running, and it's been crazy. It's been crazy. The Ravens' defense is garbage. They're playing bad, man. They're playing bad. Yo, Trap, what's good, man? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by the chat, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Mark Andrews has better hands than Duvernay. Let's chill. Mark Andrews having better hands than Duvernay? Duvernay doesn't drop passes, like, at all. Like, Duvernay, Mark Andrews has had issues dropping passes, and we know that. Duvernay just, when it comes to Duvernay and Prochet, we drafted those guys specifically because they don't drop passes. And that's just the case. They just don't drop passes. So I feel like number one hands on the team would have to be Prochet. Number two would have to be Duvernay. Now you can say Mark Andrews maybe number three. I don't know. But got to give credit to those guys because they were drafted by us specifically because they can catch the football. They don't drop the football. You deserve way more subs. Your content is top tier. I appreciate it, man. Hey, I'm just grinding. You know, spread the word. Spread the word. Let's build up this empire for keeping it real, and let's make this thing great. But right now, I'm just doing my thing. I'd love to make this thing great. Let's make this my career so I can quit my job. It's not like my job's bad. My job's okay, but like I'd rather just do this than opposed to go to work. But that's life for you. You got to do things you don't want to do. Maybe I should make another channel just talking about life problems. That would be great therapy for me. Just talking about life problems. That would be the perfect thing. Just talking about life and work and school and all the crap we got to deal. I might actually do that one day. What's to stop me? I might do it now. Okay, projects for the future. Let me not talk about that right now. Also, my boy Jose said Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league. Do you agree with him? Jose out here saying Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback. In terms of what he's doing right now, it's difficult. It's difficult to disagree. Understand what this man's doing. He's in the MVP conversation with 17 of his players on IR and like 20 players injured in total. He's pretty much, his running game is gone. We have to pick people off the street. Former, like, guys that are not really exactly the same play. The only person that you look at and say, okay, he's great, is Latavius Murray. But it's like, even then, it's just like, he's a pretty good player. But like Le'Veon, Devontae Freeman, it's just like, the running game is just not there right now. And then you just look at all the stuff he's missing in the offensive line. Bro, he's doing all this, yet he's looking like an MVP. You could make the argument Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in the league right now. But it would be a debate. It'd be a debate. But no, Jose saying that I have no problem with that. I would have no problem with that. The Ravens defense gave up over 500 yards against the Colts. Yeah, so that makes me scared as to what they're going to give up against the Chargers. Who would you rather have for a franchise quarterback, Herbert or Lamar? I'm perfectly fine with Lamar. When it comes to franchise quarterbacks, I'm perfectly fine with Lamar. Lamar is the exact type. Again, Lamar is the type of player I want on my team. He's the type of quarterback I want for my team. That's just me personally. But I could see why people would pick Herbert. Again, I've spoken a lot of praise for Herbert, and I've said that this guy, man, is the real deal. He's going to be the biggest threat to Patrick Mahomes in the AFC because Patrick Mahomes is going to have a difficult time winning this division as long as that guy is there. I haven't had this much praise for a young quarterback that's not on my team since Andrew Luck. So I have a lot of love for Justin Herbert. But I just prefer Lamar. That's just the type of quarterback. I prefer him. I prefer his intangibles. I prefer his style of play. I just love Lamar, so I would take him as my franchise quarterback over Herbert. But again, you can't go wrong with either or. Like, you cannot go wrong with either or. Lamar is literally all about football. So, like, again, I just love Lamar. Just everything about his personality, his intangibles. I love Lamar as my quarterback. So I'll just pick him. Bateman has already fit in, especially with the receivers, and he already has a nickname. We'll see hopefully he can fit in on the field. Tyson Williams is going to be a first guy for Lamar. 6.1 yards per carry is insane from True. He's more valuable than Freeman, Murray, and Bell. I feel bad for True. He's definitely going to be valuable, man. This is probably the worst defense I've ever seen from the Ravens. The worst, I don't know, maybe 2015? That's a difficult one. Double A needs to improve. He had such a huge opportunity, and he's wasting it. He had a bad game, man. It's funny how people say Lamar won't last that long, but yet still love Deshaun Jackson when he's like 35 and he's still fast. People say whatever they want to say. Lamar's not going anywhere. Lamar production-wise is top 10 quarterback and top 10. Yeah, like he's fifth in passing, eighth in rushing. He's top 10 in both those, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like you give Mahomes too much credit. Like, he can't win if Tyreek is doubled. Mahomes is like Carson Wentz. He doesn't know how to throw the ball away. I wouldn't say Mahomes like Carson Wentz. Mahomes is just like Brett Favre. He just takes he's a gunslinger and he takes far too many risks. The only difference is when he takes shots down the field, man, he's just luck is on this man's side. Because there are so many times I've seen Mahomes throw the ball down the field when I'm like, that should be picked. He is throwing across the middle and it doesn't get picked off and somehow it finds somebody. The man's got some good luck on his side. But now, again, talent-wise, Mahomes is one of the best in the league. You cannot deny the talent. But, of course, you also look at the talent he's working with. I don't know what Mahomes would look like if you were to throw him on the Ravens and you have him utilize this weapon. I don't know. I don't know. Because, again, I look at it. I've seen people with I've seen Lamar fans, definitely all of us say, well, if he had to utilize the weapons Lamar had, would he be putting up those same numbers? I've seen people with Josh Allen fans saying, hey, man, if you give Josh Allen Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, he'd do damage. It's always weird, man. It's always weird. I just don't know about it. Talent-wise, Mahomes is the real deal. He's one of the best in the league. But we cannot lie. Both things can be true. Mahomes can still be the most talented quarterback in the league, and he could still have top-tier weapons. You have a future Hall of Famer in Travis Kelce, who's a tight end, and then one of the most electrifying receivers in the league, a little Chico, and somebody who's probably also on his way to the Hall of Fame if he continues this whole trajectory. He's got, like, top-tier guys here. Most people don't have that. So, I don't know. So, it's already tough. It's already tough with that. Just get Bishops. Nah, we ain't gonna get those players. We good. Imagine the Ravens hold the Chargers offense to like 17 to 20 points. It's possible, but it's a lot of work they got to do. The Chargers are going to drop 60. We're not going to give up that much. Who do you think the best team in the league right now is? Buffalo. Buffalo's the best team in the league right now. Just what they're doing offensively and defensively, it's insane. Like, their defense, they're the number one scoring defense, and then, like, they're one of the best offenses in the league. Yeah, I got to give it to Buffalo as the best team in the league right now. Cardinals would be number 2 for me. 2015 defense played with heart despite those injuries. Yeah, they definitely did. Thanks for helping my Titans with your win over the toilet seat logo Colts. Keeping it real all day. I appreciate that, man. Deshaun Watson to Miami, if they're going to trade for him, I don't know. The offense and defense swapped the value. Our offense is top tier and defense was top tier, but now it's like the 2015 offense now is below. It's very weird. It's very weird with how things have swapped out for the most part. It's funny how people say Lamar is going to get figured out, but it looks like Mahomes is getting figured out. Yeah, Mahomes, man, people are starting to catch up to some of the things he's doing. Everyone's like, well, I mean, if you just double-team Tyreek Hill, put the pressure on him, all of a sudden, things aren't exactly looking good. But at the same time, while people are saying he's getting figured out, you understand he's still putting up monster stats too. It's just that he cannot carry the team on his own. If the defense is going to play like trash, I don't know what Mahomes can do. In the past, he was able to carry it when they were giving up huge points. Now, you can't see that happening. So, there are definitely some issues there. But I would say they're starting to figure out how the Chiefs' offense likes to operate. And they're realizing that, you know, between Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, if you take away Tyreek Hill, the big plays down the field, they're going to get cut off. You take away Tyreek Hill, I mean, Hardman and Pringle, they can still try to get down. Like Robinson and Hardman and Pringle, they can get down there. But if you take away Tyreek Hill, the bombs down the field start to disappear on the Chiefs' offense. And we're seeing it. What does the Ravens passing game rank as of right now? Rank in terms of the league. Well, since Lamar is like 5th in passing, one of the best passing offenses in the game right now in terms of just yards in total. It's crazy. But in terms of the league, I don't know. You know, it's weird. It's weird. We'll just continue to see how this builds up. Patrick Mahomes is making his own plays so risky because it doesn't fit in Andy Reid's scheme. Miscommunication and dismantling what happened. You know, here's the funny thing. I don't even know if any of y'all even know about Fist Vegas. But shout out to that man because I was watching his video about the Chargers versus his recap on the Chargers and the Browns, and he said something that was very interesting that I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's definitely something I would agree with in that statement because for me personally, I've said Herbert in terms of talent and just pure arm strength, he's up there with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And he can make every type of throw that either one of those quarterbacks can make. Just on pure talent. He's up there. So yeah, but Fitz, when he said in the video, one thing he said with like between Herbert and Mahomes, he's like, with Mahomes, everything Mahomes does just seems complicated. And he's right, because Mahomes is like rolling backwards 10 yards and then just like tossing it across the field. And it just looks so difficult. He makes it easy, but everything he does is complicated in how he's throwing the ball. Meanwhile, with Herbert, everything kind of seems more controlled and more smooth. So I agree with Fisk on that statement right there, because like when I'm watching Justin Herbert play, he's making some of the same throws that Mahomes can make, but it's a lot more easier, more smooth. It doesn't seem like he's out there trying to make things complicated. With Mahomes, he's making things a bit more complicated. Obviously, Mahomes is probably one of 2 or 3 quarterbacks that can do that. But when he does, it's like, he's just making everything complicated. And I got to agree, I'm tired of seeing Mahomes start running backwards by 15 yards and having to throw across his body to hit somebody. Like, at some point, that does catch up. That does catch up in some cases. And it's a problem. But, you know, it works. It works sometimes. It doesn't work sometimes. But it is what it is. But I do agree with that comparison in saying that Mahomes, everything he does with his throws just look complicated. With Herbert, it's more fluid. It's just more smooth. So I agree with Fisk on that one. Shout out to the Fisk unit over there. If Mahomes had the Ravens receiver in 2018, he would be... Who knows? Who knows? Please never quit this channel. I doubt I'll ever quit this channel because, you know, I love talking sports on this channel, man. I mean, I'll probably... Focus camera. I'll probably, like, always keep this channel. Like, no question. I will probably, like, keep this channel moving forward and just keep talking sports. Because that's just what I love to do. Love when my camera loses focus. That's just what I love to do. I'll probably, like, go into other stuff as well. No question. But, like, for the most part... I'm gonna continue to talk sports, but like if I have any other thing like I talk about, like if I wanted to expand to talk about other things non-sports related, I can always make another channel and do that. But like keeping it real is probably always gonna be here because I like talking sports. You know, I'll always be talking football. I'll always be talking basketball. Just because I go into other things doesn't mean I'll take away this channel. So you guys don't ever really have to worry unless something was to happen and I'm like I just can't make videos anymore. I'm gonna be here. This channel is always gonna be here. Keeping it real ain't going nowhere. You know, I still appreciate doing this, man. This 2021 Mahomes reminds me when Vic was out for the Eagles. The 2010 Eagles. 2021 Mahomes reminds you of 2010 Eagles. Interesting comparison there. Do you think Daniel Sorensen is the worst defensive player in the league? I do not. You and Engraven need to do a podcast. I would have no problem doing a podcast with Engraven. That'd be a cool thing to do. I mean, Engraven already does a podcast on his own, so like, and it's a pretty good podcast. But I would have no problem. Hey, you know what? Hey, hit him up. Hit up Engraven and say, yo, you and Keeping It Real got to do a podcast. That'd be funny because, you know, I'm keeping it real. He's keep it clean. It's very weird. We could definitely do something with that. But I wouldn't have a problem doing a podcast with Engraven. He's awesome. Like I said, that's the homie. Yeah, Fisk is definitely entertaining. Fisk is funny. Definitely, I would say in terms of Fisk, man, it's funny with his takes, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. He's at his funniest when it comes to the NBA. And that's just how you know. With football, I tell you guys, man, talking about basketball is entirely different from talking about football. Like, even Fisk, when he talking about football, he's got to talk about the offense doing this and then the defense being garbage. But when it comes to the NBA, he doesn't have to do that. When it comes to the NBA, Fisk can sit back and be like, I could talk about LeBron, I could talk about Westbrook, I could talk about KD, I could talk about Kyrie. Oh, man, he's put KD and Kyrie in the firing. He put them in the firing range far too many times. Both of those are Hall of Famers in the firing range. Fisk is a funny dude. How long do you think Lamar Jackson records? Lamar Jackson's record for the highest completion percentage while throwing over 400 yards will stand before someone breaks it. With the way this season going, somebody could break it because this season's been crazy. But I don't know. It could take a while. Herbert, don't try to be flashy. Mahomes getting big-headed with those no looks. Exactly. Mahomes trying to do all these flashy plays sometimes, and it can get the best of what they're trying to do on offense. Meanwhile, Herbert, everything is just normal and fluid, man. Mahomes be getting lucky on these throws. Hill will jump out receivers for jump ball. Yeah, again, when you have those guys there, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. 17-plus players on the IR, still number one AFC North, man. That's love. That's amazing, man. That's lovely. Everybody hyping up the Chargers and overlooking the Ravens. After this game, you'll get a good look at where both they have, man. You'll just get a great look at those two, since they're going to meet up. Shout out to Raven Seek Flock, Nijo Chat. Yeah, man, Raven C is a legend. Said one of my homies as well. Appreciate him stopping by. He's just chilling out here tonight. He's a legend, man. Definitely hit up his channel. Awesome guy. Lamar came up clutch. Like who got this Skip Bayless guy here, man? Who got this Skip Bayless guy here? Man, I don't even want to get in on Skip Bayless, man. I don't want to get in on Skip Bayless. No matter, we thrive off adversity. Yeah, we definitely thrive off adversity. And we've been through adversity the entire season, so we'll keep at it. Keep going, bro. You got one of the best channels around. Love the content. I appreciate the support, man. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. Herbert can't make some of the throws Mahomes can't. No, Herbert can make some of the throws, man. He can make the throws Mahomes can. But Mahomes is just better at creating, and he just makes a lot of things a lot more complicated. But again, in terms of arm talent, Herbert is right there with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And he can make the throws Mahomes can. But just Mahomes is just unique in how he's able to create things. And he makes things look so when he does it's so complicated, but he makes it look so easy. Katie's my dude. Yeah, Katie, man. Katie is a beast. You should bring Fisk on. I don't know Fisk personally. I've never talked to Fisk personally. So, I mean, hey, I would always be down to go on the Fisk channel. And I would always be down to have Fisk here. If any of you guys know about Fisk, hey, tell him, bro, keep it real. I would always be down to show up on one of his live streams, man. I ain't got no problem with Fisk. So, it is what it is, man. I ain't got no problem with it. He seems like a cool guy. I don't know him personally, but, from what I've seen in his videos, hey, man, guy seems like a cool dude that loves roasting people. Ring Ravens stares at you for 15 minutes. The Ravens signed a 12-year-old football player, 5'1", 95-pound receiver for 10 Kit Kat bars for 3 years, continuously staring at you. That is a weird interaction right there. If Mahomes tries to do that on Ed Reed, if he was to try that against Ed Reed, that would have been a different case. Well, Chargers should not be overlooked. Yeah, Chargers should not. Don't overlook the Chargers. No one's overlooking the Chargers. They look like a contending team right now. Why is it when Mahomes throws it up to his guy, it's lucky, but when others do it, it's a fake? Nah, I mean, it's not. Again, when it comes to that, nah, no one's saying it's lucky. It's just some of the throws he's made, you're throwing it right in front of the defense, and then it just like Tyreek Hill just happens to be there. And of course, again, it's never the case. Even Aaron Rodgers has had throws where it's just luck. Like, again, it's skill at the same time, but it'll also be luck as well. Like, again, it's just the talent of getting the ball out there. But again, you need a little bit of luck. It's not just Mahomes as the only one. Same be happening with Aaron Rodgers sometimes with his receivers, man. But again, it's just about making the plays. Mahomes has a lot of throws that he makes where he's putting the ball at risk, but Tyreek Hill just happens to be in the vicinity and he somehow makes the play and somehow holds onto the ball, or somehow, despite not being the tallest guy, he could jump over some dude that's 6'3", or a defender that's 6'3", and catch that football. Sometimes some of the throw Mahomes makes is lucky. It's not like he's the only one that does that. Plenty of other guys. I've seen that plenty of time with Aaron Rodgers too. So it's not just Mahomes. And Favre did that all the time in his career. Sometimes it resulted in some good luck. Other times it resulted in some bad luck. That was just how it was. We all know Skip Bayless loves Brady more than his wife. That's just weird. His infatuation and love for Brady is just weird. I am so scared for the Ravens defense this Sunday more than I've been for a while. Hopefully they do well. Colin Cowherd has my respect. One of the biggest Lamar supporters there. I wouldn't say Colin Cowherd is one of the biggest Lamar supporters. He's not, because he was not with Lamar from day one. There is, to this day, people remember when he said Tim Tebow 2.0 is coming with Lamar Jackson. What I will say is, again, with Colin doesn't really care if he's right or wrong in some things. If he's wrong, he'll admit he's wrong. So, like, again, he admitted on several occasions he was wrong about Lamar Jackson. So, like, again, hey, if you admit you're wrong and at that point you're supporting the guy, I'm not going to be mad at you. But like I said, he came out. He never bought in on Lamar initially. He called him Tim Tebow 2.0. Then when he saw Lamar was the real deal, he said I was wrong. And since then, he's been supporting Lamar. I appreciate it. You can prove, if a guy proves you wrong and you admit he's wrong, that's growth right there. Colin's never afraid to admit he's wrong about something for the most part. And he's been wrong a lot of times, but the fact that he's willing to admit it, I give him some credit for that. But mostly I just go to Colin for like entertainment purposes, not really for accurate sports takes. I don't really look at the media for that. Our defense got to play 100% or our defense will get cooked by the Chargers. Averett he's going to play better, especially for whoever is guarding him on Sunday. Yeah, Mahomes isn't even the best quarterback in the AFC West. That's a debate right there. Are you going to watch the Bucs and Eagles game tomorrow? I'll probably watch it. Definitely watch it. I'll probably live stream it if I can. Herbert was my favorite quarterback prospect in 2020. Yeah, I bought in on Herbert, so I'm fine with that. Herbert always gets bailed out by all his 6 feet receivers. Hey, quarterbacks get bailed out by receivers all the time. He'll be out jumping defenders. Yeah, man. And Rodgers is definitely the same way. Did you see Brittany Matthews' tweets? I did not. Stephen A. Smith slowly killing his career after getting Max fired and people getting tired of his hating. Yeah, it's, you know what? As long as he's on ESPN, they're never going to get rid of him. He's the best product they have. ESPN is quickly becoming CNN in some cases. Can I please ask you how old you are? Because it seems like you knew the NFL for so long. I am 22. I've been watching the NFL since 2004. So I started watching when I was like 5 years old. I'd be like 4. I started remembering about the NFL when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So like I'm a young man, but like I've been watching it for quite some time. Yeah, Colin admit he was wrong. Dude really said Lamar isn't even close to Sam Darnold. Yeah, hey, when you're wrong, you're wrong. So I appreciate him admitting it. Baltimore Ravens with the you ain't gotta disrespect the city, man. You ain't gotta disrespect you ain't gotta look at this man said Baltimore Ravens with the booty city and the booty baseball team and football team. Alright, bro, cool. The quote he said the other day is stupid to be dumb and then admit you're wrong. However, I take these media dudes with a grain of salt. It is what it is. Like it is what it is. Stephen A. Smith is annoying. People kind of getting tired of him, but it is what it is. Bro, I like Rashad Bateman, but if y'all had gotten Kadarius Toney, the Ravens offense would be far more dynamic in the passing attack. It would have been interesting. And he's doing a lot of damage for the Giants. But, we'll see what Bateman can do. Because, again, Toney isn't really fit for a number one receiver in terms of what we need. But he definitely would have been something great for us. But, we'll see what Rashad Bateman can do. The difference between Lamar abilities and Herbert is like hell and heaven. Lamar's superior. I mean, yeah, of course we know what he can do. We're seeing what he can do with his arm now. Obviously, a Ravens fan knew that. But now the media is starting to really zone in and see what he can do. And then, of course, with his legs, we know what he can do. It's crazy. Stephen A. Smith isn't an analyst. He's an entertainer. Hey, he gets paid to entertain. NFL or NBA? I enjoy watching the NFL more. I enjoy talking about the NFL. I enjoy watching the NFL more than the NBA, but I enjoy commentating and talking about the NBA over the NFL. But I love both. What do y'all have Lamar on your list? I have him somewhere in the top 5. I could definitely put him at 5. With the way he's playing right now, you could put him within 5 or 4 if you want to. Toney would be interesting, but we needed a big body guy. Yeah, so Bateman better fit what we needed. I remember when some guys got called crazy when he said Lamar was the best quarterback in the 2018 draft back in 2018. Yeah, that doesn't exactly seem like a bad thing now. I don't mean to get too personal with you, bro, but when is your birthday? My birthday's in July. I'm not going to go for... Listen, I don't know. I probably should save that for the Q&A. I might actually have that in the Q&A for the most part. Like, I might actually have that. But, yeah, my birthday's in July for the most part, so. Dude, hey, man, if he's spamming, let him do what he's got to do. I ain't really got nothing about that, man. Seems like we got a Chargers fan here that's ready to go all in on Patrick Mahomes. If Ravens had all the money in the world in the 2022 free agency, who would you love to have on the Ravens? It depends on who's available for free agency. I don't know who's available this year as a free agent. Imagine if the Chiefs somehow gotten Kadarius Toney as Sammy Watkins' replacement. That would have been terrible. But whew, man, wow. See, it's the same thing, man. Just like Engraven, man. Just like Engraven. I feel like sometimes we just get so zoned in to these streams we completely forget. I was only supposed to stream for an hour and I've been here for 2.5 hours. So I definitely need to cut this here. I do appreciate you guys stopping by, but I was not supposed to stream for 2.5 hours. Oh my God. Sometimes, man, we be streaming for too long, you just never know, and then you just lose track of time. But it is what it is for the most part. Please stream the Bucs versus Eagles game. You're literally one of my only sources of entertainment. I'll definitely be here tomorrow if I can, but it is what it is for the most part. If you had to bring back 2 Ravens players from the IR, who would you pick? Give me Patrick. What I'm talking about. Give me Marcus Peters and either Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins. Simple as that. PQ slipping. Definitely. But yeah, I'm going to cut it here for the most part because I have been here for 2.5 hours and I was not expecting to be here that long. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate all the love and support. I'll definitely be back here tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football between the Bucs and the Eagles. And we'll do what we got to do there. Should be an interesting game, hopefully. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.